We're Bison! We are Impactors! We're Bison! We're ready to get up! We want to win! Light the fire of power that make us free! We never break down! We want to win! We are Impactors, the best team!
Hello and welcome back to TNI-UK Impact League, coming to you live via the Total Nonstop Impact Network on YouTube and Twitch. I'm your host Bison, and today I am joined by the one and only Joker, and of course the man simply known as Steve. Hi fellas, how are we doing today?
Yeah, very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. I'm on a buzz, man. I'm on a buzz. What a show we're going to be talking about today. What a show. What about you, Steve? How are you?
Yeah, hell of a show. Yeah, like you say, we're ready to get going with this. It's hell of a lot to
Can't wait.
covering, and we could be here all night, couldn't we?
I bloody hope not.
All
I've got
night
dinner
long,
to have.
baby. All night long.
All night swan.
All night long.
Yeah, damn right.
And just to add something even like more amazing on top of this, we've got the episode 6 of Obi-Wan Kenobi to watch as well. So we definitely don't want to go all night long, do we?
We could do.
We could do, I suppose, but there you go. Can I just say a quick hello to everybody that we've got already joining us? The chat seems to be filling up. Obviously, Courtney's in the house. I saw Mira's in the house. You got Zach Bonifer, Hakeem, James Bryant. I think James was the first today.
Yeah.
He couldn't wait for us to get started. I don't think this week. But great to see Mary. He thinks the show's going to be phenomenal by the looks of it, which it could
You're
well
damn right
be.
it is.
Could well be. Great to see Donald in the house as well. So yeah, good one.
Terrence, welcome.
Terrence, we need Violet to turn up, don't we? We need Violet to turn up, and then we've got
Lakers.
like bit of Lakers. Wonder Lakers going to get into the motherfucking house. You never know. But yeah, so it's great to have you guys with us. Massive show after a fantastic Slammiversary. I mean, wow. Some incredible stuff to talk about today. Some absolute cracking stuff. Hey, bonus baby, exactly. We can't start a show off without a bit of Lionel. Hey, a little bit of Lionel.
No, I was doing a bit of Rich.
Well, there you go, a bit of Rich Swan. But
yeah, I just can't dance.
Did you see? Because I think Rich comes on to Lionel Richie, doesn't he, all night long when he does the Revolver shows.
Yeah.
That's his theme music when he comes on at Revolver shows, which is pretty cool. So it's really good. Hey, Malachi, nice to see you, my friend. I noticed earlier you said you were coming on, so great to see you. What's this? I haven't even seen Slam yet. Oh, my God. Well, if you're into spoilers, my friend, we won't be holding back today, but it's nice to have you in the house. Really appreciate you popping in. It's going to be a great show.
For me,
guys,
spoilers are fuel to the fire. I watched most of the highlights on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Watched it the full show on Monday night, and it was just it just went boom. Wow, this is fucking brilliant.
It was a great. The nostalgia, pretty much from start to finish, was amazing. I loved it. But guys, let's get stuck in to talking a little bit of the news, rumors, and of course a little bit of a recap of any of the stuff that's been going on this week with regards to the world of Impact Wrestling. Something happened there. That was a bit weird. But never mind. Sorry, my computer went a bit funny there. Larry, nice to see you, buddy. But let's get talking. AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, Sting all appear Slammiversary to congratulate Impact on their 20 years, obviously via video. They could have been there in person, unfortunately, but it was still pretty cool. In fact, for me, AJ Styles has to top The Rock's appearance from, was that last year or the year before?
A couple of years ago.
Cool.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah, that was pretty cool too. But AJ Styles is the one. That was pretty cool. So all I got to say for that, thank you WWE for allowing the man that built this house, do a video package, as it were. It's quite long as well, actually, which was quite nice.
Yeah,
And
he
held
really
up
felt
his,
him tearing up,
he held
didn't
up
he,
his
as well?
cup.
Yeah.
He held up his cup to celebrate, which was good as well. Let's all do it. Let's all hold up our cups. Let's all celebrate 20 years, baby. 20 years. Got your cups. Celebrate. Fantastic. Which was really cool. And it was good to see Kurt. Good to see Kurt, and of course Sting as well, which was really good. So it was great to have those guys, celebrate along with us. And interestingly enough, there's a lot of people saying, "Where's Samoa Joe?" and all these kind of guys. Samoa Joe then, apparently took to social media to basically clear up a few things. Apparently, he wasn't asked, which is weird, even though he wasn't available. So I'm just wondering whether they might not have asked him because he wasn't available and they knew it, so they didn't bother. But he could have still sent a message, couldn't he? Like Sting or AJ or whatever, which is a shame. But he also congratulated Impact Wrestling on their 20 years on Twitter, which I thought was fantastic. It is a shame he wasn't there, and I honestly thought that he may be one of the ones that turned up as the whole relationship that we've got there with AEW or whatever. But what can you do? We still got Sting, didn't we? We still got Sting.
Got Sting sent chills down my spine. I must admit that was brilliant, and to you could feel the passion that he's talking about reignited in him when he went to TNA. Just from that segment alone, you could tell that was raw emotion. That wasn't just some stage bullshit. That was just amazing. The appreciation that all of them showed was just fantastic.
Yeah, I think so. I thought it was brilliant. I really, really did. I thought it was brilliant. We then, former TNA, we then get news. We've had news of this come up over the last couple of days. I'm not sure. I can't remember the positions or whatever it was, but former TNA founder Jeff Jarrett has been promoted within the WWE. Obviously, former TNA Impact employee Bruce Prichard has also been promoted within WWE. Congratulations to them. Interesting that we may not have beaten them in the ratings, but we still took them over in the end. So there you go. Let's see if anything improves. I can't imagine it would. But congratulations to them, right?
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Jeff and Bruce.
Yeah, Jeff, like I say, Jeff is doing a job in WWE that really suits him, and I think that will really benefit the live. Him running live events, I think, is made for him and will really benefit WWE. I don't see Bruce being the right fit for that. Cause I don't think the run he had in Impact, I think that was where the worst period of Impact was. I think if you look at what WWE is doing, it's under Bruce's creative. So it's going to be interesting to watch him in this big position of power. Yeah,
exactly. I'm not sure we're going to get too much from him, but all I got to say is have fun and let's see where it all goes, shall we? Hopefully they do really well. Can I just say welcome to J Bone? He's in the chat. We've got Gary's turned up now as well. Critical Sting's in the house, so it's all starting to really, really hot up in the chat. Oh my God, Dragon Storm's turned up as well. So Simon Plum, he's turned. Oh my goodness me, it's turning into basically like a who's who of TNI Tribe today. The who's who of TNI Tribe in the chat. It's fantastic. So. Also, we had the America's Most Wanted, James Storm. Chris Harris appears at Slammiversary. That was pretty cool. Would we like to see them in the ring? We've already discussed that. I think they would have been good. But they were there. That's the main thing. They were there. It happened. We got to see them, which was great. I thought James Storm looked amazing. Really good. What's this? Does anyone really have the power in WWE? Yeah, no, exactly. Scott Demore tweets out a picture of Billy Corgan, Dixie Carter, and Ed Norton together and smiling at Slammiversary. I didn't think I'd ever see that. Did you?
No.
That was it's amazing. You know, all of the feedback from backstage you saw from everybody, Scott, from even Josh Lex, and from Jade Chung, and Mickey James, Brian Hebner. It was just amazing. Goldilocks. She had a lot to say about the locker room and that out back, and a lot of stuff shared. It was just lovely. Honestly,
Yes, it was.
Simplest way to put it without being rude.
Hakeem's joined us. Hello, buddy. I never thought I'd ever see that, but that's really cool. And
all it was missing was Jeff Jarrett in the picture.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been cool if Jeff was in there as well. It'd been cool. It's nice to see that they're all back on talking terms.
Definitely.
Must, and let's face it. Scott has to be the person in the middle saying, "Look, it's all in the past. Let's move on." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's move on. But there you go. But again,
good job, Scott. Good job.
Exactly that. But it's good to see that, and I agree with you, Dead Punk. I thought Chris Harris did look like he lost a few pounds. Maybe he's trying to get himself back into ring shape. Who knows? There you go. And interesting, Simon. He doesn't think that it's a particularly big deal that Joe wasn't there. With the number of people Impact have had, you can't fit many into a 3-hour show, which is true, totally true. And funny enough, we were talking about that. You're never going to get everybody on the show. But some of the people that were there was pretty cool, I think. And we're talking like serious OGs. We'll talk about that a bit. Now, Dixie Carter, she appeared. And she introduced, obviously, the 5th member to Team Impact, OGs, which ended up being Davey Richards. Now, we never even thought about Davey Richards. That never even entered, our process.
I dropped it in the comments last week when a brief period I was on the show last week in the comment section. I did drop Davey Richards' name.
Well, I never really thought about it, but. It makes sense because at the end of the day, Davey on the opposite side to Eddie, it sort of kind of makes sense from a story point of view. Yeah. Even though a lot of people were like, we were hoping for Christopher Daniels, or we were hoping for James Storm or whoever. And to be fair, like Davey Richards looks incredible, and he's in amazing shape. He's on a great run with MLW at the moment, and he's doing some great stuff on the indies. So he was a great addition. But, I get that. Obviously, he's not really original, is he? But, let's face the facts.
He's
Of course, he was a member of the TNA roster for several years. Now, yes, he was also a member of the Ring of Honor roster as well. But bottom line is he was a member of the TNA Impact Wrestling roster for several years, which, so it counts. Simple as that. And it made sense for the story.
It's very interesting how things have gone full circle as well, because Davey was originally brought in by MVP to go against Dixie.
Yeah, that's true. So there you go. Amazing. But then that just, it's the storyline at the end of the day, isn't it? So they've chosen to go storyline, rather than think, right, who can we pick just to put in this match? And I quite like, I appreciate that, so long as they can follow it up. Like if we see Davey stick around for a bit, then that would be really good. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of comments in there saying that certain individuals were OGs. At the end of the day, if they perform for several years under the TNA brand, then they're an original. It's as simple as that. That's the way it works. But like I said, it was a great. I thought it was good in the end, and I totally got it. I was a bit like, David Richards. I wasn't expecting that.
But then I think that's on us as well for what we expect.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it turned out to be a great match, and we'll talk about that in a second. Yeah. Now, something which I think is a bit of a shame was the poor ticket sales for the Fallout show, the TV tapings, obviously the Monday night I've seen a few pictures, and they literally looked like they only had about 300 people there. I think it didn't look particularly full compared to the night before, where there was at least 700 maybe, if not a little bit more, because there was people in the bleachers as well. So I think there was a decent amount of people in there. It was pretty full for me. So that's a little bit disappointing. I know that they were also obviously handing out vouchers and stuff to get discounts and shit for the following day. The problem is, though, it was a Monday night. You know, it's the first day of the week. You know, working week. You know, who's going to go to a wrestling show on a Monday night unless they're unemployed? You know, it just it's difficult, isn't it? Yeah. I think it's really, really difficult. Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's why they originally moved it to Saturdays, isn't it? So they then had the Sunday for the tapings, and now obviously they've done this on a Sunday. They then find themselves going back to a Monday for the taping, which is, you say, is difficult.
It's never a good night for wrestling. It's just not a good night. It's a shame. You know, it is a shame, but it is what it is, and we just have to move on from it, I think. But there you go. Now, something else I've noticed as well, there's as much as there's been some fantastic stuff coming out with regards to the show, we also had several attendees at Slammiversary who have said they love the show, not unhappy with the show, thought it was a fantastic show, loved it, had a great time, but a little bit unhappy with the treatment and no extras being given for people that are buying like the 2-night titanium tickets, $300. It's a lot of money. And then, or because people are obviously kicking up about it, they're the last minute they're allowed to go and take some pictures next to the ring and on the ramp and stuff. Take your own photographs next to the ring. Is that really worth the extra money? Not too sure on that, and I have to say, if I bought that, I'd be disappointed, especially based on the fact that the last time I did titanium, I was given signed photographs. I had there's a thing behind me. I was given this up here on the wall. I was given. I had photographs with Havoc, photographs with who else? I photographs with the Desi Hit Squad. I had a photograph with all the champions on the stage. And not only that, there was. We had great seats. We had the pick of like all the front row seats, and we got in early as well. So there was quite a few perks to go with the titanium. So for people that sort of kind of like stumped up the extra cash to go titanium, to then find that actually there was no extra perks. I think I'd be a little bit disappointed as well. And I have to say, it is something. If that's what's going on, Impact, you need to do better. If people are willing to stump up this money because they're going to get a little bit extra than what they thought, because they're huge fans, that's why they're stumping the money up. Then you need to give them something. You certainly need to respond to emails. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's not going to encourage them to come back. If they go through this experience and they think, well, that won't worth it, I'm going to come back to another show, am I?
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, what they were saying was, I might as well just stumped up for a normal front row seat, which was like $50 less. Yeah, because I didn't get anything. So hopefully, I mean, they need to do better. They do. They certainly need to do better when it comes to things like that.
It's just nailed everything at what would make the ultimate front match just fantastic.
There you go. Ultimate perk. Meeting front row Bill.
Meeting front row Bill.
Photos and a signed autograph with the TNI legend himself. Front row Bill would be perfect. There's others as well. I mean, what about Miguel Contreras? We can get photos of Miguel. He's always there, isn't he? Travels his 3,000 miles or whatever it is to get to a show. So that's pretty cool. There's lots of top guys that you could definitely get meeting up with. Something else I noticed as well is I don't know whether is it Tyreek, I think his name is, the ultimate pusher on Twitter. You see him quite a lot. The ultimate pusher, he goes to all the shows and stuff. It looks like he might have penned some sort of deal to promote Impact Wrestling on the socials. So he's sort of kind of like, you know, he did a video where he was pushing the next set of Against All Odds and the tapings and everything, which I thought was really cool. So you know, that's good to see. That's a positive. So you know, moving forward, you know, they're starting to do other things.
Yeah, one other positive I think that we can take is.
Whoa!
Hey!
Talking about OGs. Talking about
Okay.
OGs. How you doing?
I'm good. I just wanted to, I told you guys in our chat, I just wanted to come on and talk some slam with you. Not too long. I actually jumped on the review on the other show, which was a rare appearance for me, but I couldn't help but talk about Slammiversary. This was an amazing show. How far did you guys get in your discussion?
We're not even into it yet. We're just talking about some of the sort of kind of news items that have been popping up this week. We were just actually talking about, we were just saying, along with a lot of the things that Impact are now starting to do quite well, like obviously this show was really good and they're starting to, you know, the shows are starting to get better and the production value's improved. There's lots of things that are going well. The show was great. There's still a few things that need work. And, you know, we've seen a few very dedicated fans that have been complaining a little bit over the last couple of days with regards to purchase of titanium packages and not getting really anything for it. You know, and I was saying I can understand why they'd be pissed. I mean, if you're paying $300 for a front row seat, a titanium front row, where you advertise you're going to get a few extra perks and you expect to get it.
What happened exactly? I missed this. What happened?
Well, it's been on. Somebody brought it up on Twitter, and then a few people said, "Oh yeah, we were the same." Basically, they purchased a titanium ticket, which was like $300 front row for the 2 nights.
Yeah.
And when you purchase a titanium, it says perks. Well, you know, other than getting in early and getting a front row seat, which actually you could still buy a front row seat. They didn't get anything other than a picture next to the ring.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. So there was a few people upset about that, and we were just saying, you know, like, I mean, when I went, the titanium stuff was really good. You know, I think Ross
usually it's good because I think Bill gets that every show.
Yeah. So I was interested to see if Bill pops in on the chat, whether he's got anything to say about any of that. You know, what happened with him. But like I said, when I was there back in 2019, I did titanium.
Yeah.
And you know, I got this poster which is up on the wall. I got like 7 or 8 signed pictures, like you know, was it 8x10s or whatever. I got pictures with Havoc and pictures with the Desi Hit Squad. You know, what else did I get? Pictures with the champions on the stage. So you know, a few extra bits and bobs there. I got in early, so there was quite a few things, but by all accounts, they weren't getting anything this time. So I think we were just saying that, you know, these guys, I think they need to do better. They need to do better when it comes to stuff like this, because you've got to look after your fans, the loyal fans. You've got to look after them because we're the ones that have sort of kind of stuck by you guys through, you know, thick and thin at the end of the day.
You know what? I'll tell you guys something. This is a little historical thing about back in the day when Bob Ryder was still alive, and this is during the Dixie days. They actually used to do packages where you would communicate directly with Bob Ryder, and he would literally book your hotel. There's like hotel flight. There were preferred flights that he had access to, because remember at the time their buying power was so huge with all the talent that would fly around, that they actually had limited amounts of like flight and hotel packages that you would literally communicate directly with Bob Ryder about, and he would basically be your concierge for the whole thing. And it was awesome. And he would you would get there at the arena, and I mean, like you would check in, you'd be under like a preferred rate, and then they would escort you to like meet and greets. It was really cool. I mean, not to segue too much, but think about at a time when it was at its most powerful. They actually you were literally being concierged by one of the heads of the company for travel.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. And interestingly enough, I think he mentions it a little bit later. I mean, obviously the Slammiversary itself was dedicated to Bob Ryder. So I think that's a really cool thing to do.
He was
as well.
a great guy, man. I used to actually in the early days, he used to run the home video side of things, and I would literally directly communicate with him by email. And he would take my feedback on what titles I liked, what did I like about the ones that released, which ones I'd want to see, like what best stuff I want to see come out, like, would I buy this? Like, we were in communication pretty regularly on like just feedback. Like it was such a personal company in those days that you would get that direct feedback. I was literally talking to him, right? Like on a couple weeks, few weeks at a time basis on just like, he's like, oh, what did you think of the Christopher Daniels best of? And I was, oh, there was a match you guys missed. You should have had this, and he said, oh, what'd you like next? I'm like, oh, definitely doing Abyss, I was like, such a dork. And I was like, oh yeah, can we get another? So, but yeah, it was cool. Bob was awesome. But yeah, but on the travel note and on the packages note, like it was, I think Ross handles it now, and it's disappointing that like people are upset about what they didn't get.
Yeah,
this is a great idea, by the way, by Critical Sting. I love that.
The BFG series, no, I agree. Yeah, that would be great. That would be really good. Yeah, so it's a kind of sort of, it's just a little bit disappointing because you sort of kind of have, on one hand you have a really, really great show, but then on the other, something which is not show related is a negative, and I just think they need to sort of kind of get these things right. So we'll have to wait and see whether they see any of this stuff or look into.
Well, to me, these are easy fixes, right? I mean, these are easy fixes. I think these kind of things, there should really be no excuse on getting something like this right, because I mean, if the people are there, the talent's there, it just takes someone putting in the effort on it, I think. And and I think if it's not happening, somebody's definitely fall somewhere. So
exactly. Now the other thing I was gonna talk about, guys, just before we start moving into the show itself, was I was a little bit disappointed in certain particular wrestlers that we know are available to appear, if they would be available. We know they can appear. I was really, really surprised we didn't see the Beautiful People. We didn't see Taryn Terrell. I mean, we know Bram would be available. We could, obviously, he's with MWA. You got EC3, Monty Brown, Amazing Red. I mean, come on, why was Amazing Red not there? Crimson. You got Taylor Wilde. Where was Taylor Wilde? ODB, Christopher Daniels. I mean, he even appeared a couple of months ago. Where was Christopher Daniels? Samoa Joe, but to name a few, obviously we talked about Samoa Joe a little bit earlier. But there's a few names that could have appeared and should have appeared in my opinion. Some of those should have been there.
I have some feedback on it, if I can chime in on that.
Go on.
Beautiful People. I said the same thing. I felt the Beautiful People should have been there. I think they weren't because they have a lot of heat with Dixie personally, apparently. So it's either Dixie or the Beautiful People. And honestly, in this case, you need to see Dixie there.
They agree.
I just listened to a Vince Russo podcast, and I think Vince should have been there too. He was such a big part of the company, and he was actually asked to appear on the TNA reunion that was going to happen before the pandemic. And
oh, really?
He was supposed to be. Yeah, he was set to be there. What he talked about in this podcast today was that he's like it's so strange. They didn't even ask me for Slammiversary, but I was set to come to the other one. So he goes, so it's kind of strange. So, as was Kid Cash, as was Amazing Red, if you remember, those guys didn't appear. Joe said he couldn't make it. He wasn't asked, nor could he make it, apparently. I think, that was whatever. Daniels just appeared. I think some of it is just a matter of you can only do so many at the same time, right?
We talked about that.
Yeah. Taylor Wilde's also up in Canada as well, so getting visa sorted to go to America just for one night is a bit of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, correct. That I think at that point you're really picking and choosing how much you want to invest. I mean, I would rather see certain other people over Taylor Wilde if that's the case. But but my beef is though the local ones, like Crimson lives in Tennessee. Nat Bram lives in Tennessee. Kid Cash lives in Tennessee. Come on, these guys, you could have driven them in. It was very minimal cost. I don't think that would have been an issue, and it would just added to the reunion aspect of things.
Yeah, I still feel like we'll see a lot more of these names turn up leading into Bound for Glory.
Yes, I think you're correct. I think I theorized that this isn't it with the 20 celebration. I think Bound for Glory is also going to have a subsequent 20-year bash as well. And I think that's what we're going for.
Yeah.
So whoever you didn't see here, you might see them in October.
Yeah, this was part 1. Bound for Glory will be part 2.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that's how they're going. Even though this, honestly, if this was it, I'd leave very satisfied. No question about it.
Yeah.
I was definitely a mess, a crying mess. I know Joe understands that I was an emotional mess when an AMW came down the aisle. I have no problem admitting that when I heard the AMW music, I completely lost it.
I was going through most of the event, and I'm not even a TNA OG myself. I started watching in 2016, but there was so much of it that brought back everything from the Asylum era, and even seeing Andrew Everett in the X division, the Ultimate X match. It was like Andrew Everett to me is like an OG, because he was one of the guys who got me to come back, keep watching Impact Wrestling with Eddie Edwards and Jesse Goddard and James Storm. So it was really entertaining. So when Andrew Everett came out there, I popped like bloody mad just then. And Dixie Carter coming out and bringing in Davey Richards, that had me going. Seeing Goldilocks there was amazing. And then
that was a big one.
That was huge. And then the tribute Earl Hebden did with Brian Hebner as well. That was the big one for me.
There's some really, really cool stuff.
Scott Hudson there too.
Scott Hudson being there blew my mind. I did not think we'd ever see him again. Because remember, he didn't even make it to the I think he made it for just a few months of Orlando. That was it, like early Orlando days. So Hudson's been gone for 18 years, 19 years. Like, it's crazy. So that blew my mind that they got Scott Hudson. I mean, the Goldilocks to Gia Miller passing of the torch, that was an amazing moment to me. I love that. Like, that was and we all, and I will stand by this, that our channel, all of us, have petitioned for that verbally and on Twitter, that Goldilocks needed to be at this. And I truly want to feel that we had a part in this, because I'm not to mince words, she's been largely ignored by them and a lot until recently, and until this show, actually, to be honest. And I think we've been really pounding that away for the last year or so about how we really want to see her again. And I think I feel like we have a small part in this.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
What's interesting? There's a lot of appreciation towards some of the stuff that me and Bison have had to say.
Absolutely, she's been very vocal about appreciating us.
When I put out this week's header yesterday, I tagged her as well, because we tag loads of people in the picture or whatever. So I tagged Goldilocks in it. She was the first person to reply with wow, this is like, I can't remember what she put. She put, this is sick.
This is sick, fantastic, well done.
Listen to her podcast. She's been on a bit of a redemption tour this year of interviewing former Asylum Days folks, and just kind of understanding, like, realizing to herself, she goes, I didn't appreciate what I had when I had it at the time. And she's been interviewing people and talking about it. So she's been on a bit of a redemption herself. So I think now she's like, wow, I really was a part of something amazing, So it's pretty cool.
Exactly. Yeah, and did you, when she came on at the end? I mean, we'll talk about it a bit later when she comes on in the review. But she, like, Gia Miller was looking at her like, almost like she's just met a god. She's just met her favorite, or
she was starstruck.
Yeah, she was. You could tell. She's like, oh.
Truth be told, Goldie, she's still a very well-known musician in, like, especially in the Midwest and East Coast area. She's performs nearly, I think, every weekend, and she's part of a touring band. Goldie's been around. I mean, she's been on the Learning Channel and things like. I mean, she's active. She's out there, and I think it's really cool. Like, she's a cool chick, like, she's a cool chick. So this corner, I think she even admits herself how, like, she's like, oh, I always, in the early days, I thought I was kind of better than this because I came from the music industry and I was on television, so I thought this was like just a side thing. I didn't really care about it. But now she's oh my God, I was so ignorant to how big this was. And 20 years later, like, it's having a celebration, like, I was part of this, and now she really cherishes it. I think it's an awesome redemption for her personally. Listen to her podcast. I highly recommend everybody check out her podcast.
Okay, cool. looks like everyone is showing love to Trent at the moment.
Oh, thanks, guys.
As well as Goldie. As well as Goldie.
Yeah.
Goldie
Nailed it right there.
Goldie just glows.
Yeah.
She certainly does.
Yeah.
One other thing I wanted to just quickly hit before we get into the review was that the main event has already been set for Against All Odds. It's going to be Joe Doering versus Josh Alexander, which is going to be amazing. Hopefully, we'll get a proper 1, 2, 3 in this one. And if I'm going to put it out there, Josh will get an amazing win here. This will make him look well strong. I mean, not that he doesn't look strong already, but at the end of the day, Joe Doering will be going into this match completely undefeated, and that's going to be his first defeat. It's going to be an amazing match. I hope that they ban VBD from ringside, so it really is a true one-on-one Joe Doering versus Josh Alexander banger of a main event. I think it'd be great.
Did I? I don't think I told Joe or Steve. So when we had Eric Young at AAW recently, I mentioned. So I brought up Bison, obviously, because obviously Bison is the president of the Eric Young fan club. So I brought up, and I said, no, I said we have a mutual friend, and I talked to him. He goes, and he was like, he's like, man, he really is like my frontline defender. he says, he's like, man, he's like, before I can even see a response to a tweet, a negative tweet, he goes, he jumps in and fights my plight for me sometimes. He takes it to heart. I said, yeah, he does.
I do. I gotta say, Eric is such a nice guy.
Good guy.
He's almost like the total opposite. His character is almost like the total opposite to what he actually is as a person.
It's like Sammy Callahan.
He's just a lovely guy. I'm hoping, because we're going to get to see all three of us, will get to see Eric at the Wrestle Carnival show in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Are you all going? Are you all going to go?
All three are going.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm picking up Steve on the way, and I don't know what we're doing with Joe yet, whether I'm meeting him at the train station or what, I don't know. But
now, what's the distance proximity to you? I mean, so I imagine Bison, Steve, you guys live the closest to each other?
Well, in terms, if I was to drive to Norwich, which is where Steve lives, I'd probably take me about an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So not too far. Whereas, Joe lives, he lives in the nosebleed area. He lives up north.
Oh, okay.
So, if I was to drive to Joe, I'd probably talk in 4 or maybe 5 hours, I guess.
Oh my God, Joe!
It's not too bad, I guess, for American standards, but for the UK, that's a drive.
It's bad for us too. It's bad for us. It's nothing easy.
So we're going to meet up. We're going to. It's a pretty cool venue, actually. It's trying to remember the name of it now. Do you remember, Steve?
No, I haven't looked at it for a while.
Is it the HMV something or other? It's a pretty cool little arena. Well, it's not an arena. It's like a club.
Cool.
Yeah. So quite looking forward to it. But Eric's in the main event.
Wonderful. He loves it there, man. He loves it there.
Oh yeah, so I'm hoping that we'll be able to get these two fellows meeting him as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, that's exciting, guys. I'm excited about that. So I'm excited for you guys to meet him. He's a really, really nice guy. Like, he is. I mean, not to kill his character, but he's one of the most decent guys you'll meet in this business for sure.
Definitely. Yeah. Can I just say a quick hello to Aaron? We've had a few people join us when we've been talking. So, hello, Aaron. Thanks for joining us, my friend. We're sort of having a little discussion amongst ourselves at the moment, and not really involving the chat too much. But there you go.
I'll be jumping off. I'll jump off in a minute. I'll let you guys get to the review. I just wanted to do some highlight points and just see you guys.
That's all right.
Cool.
But we just hit. A couple days ago, right before Slam. Funny enough. And Joe, I saw your post about Joe left. Oh. His post about this was really nice. It was like the 4-year anniversary of like the genesis of our channel of TNI, which is we're almost around the Slammiversary time too, which is funny that the initial seedlings of the channel were kind of formed around Slammiversary time, so just within a few days. So I wanted to thank everybody. Thank you guys. I feel bad Joe's not here. I wanted to give him a thanks too, but thank you guys for all you did on this side of things and on the other side of the world, for us, and just being a part of this growth. I think we've shown amazing growth from 2018 to now, as Impact has really too. I mean, we kind of grew with their reboot with the Anthem era. I think. Think about it. TNI was kind of part of the Anthem era's leg, of Impact. So I think we all grew with them together. So thank you guys for all you did, and all the listeners, obviously, and you guys as fans. Joe, I was just thanking all you guys for everything you guys have done, and how and I mentioned how TNI kind of coincides with the Anthem era of Impact.
Yeah, it does.
And,
100%.
And so I just want to thank you, Joe. Also, I saw your post; it was wonderful about that. So very kind of you to put all those nice words out, because I think it's a big part of you guys are a big part of our growth too. We're all in it together, and we've done some cool stuff. And I think it's been a lot of fun. And we're going to be debuting some, we're going to be doing some new shows. I think we've talked to you guys about doing something on Patreon at some point too. So we're going to be expanding. We're going to be. Mark and I have talked about doing just a show about movies. Well,
I think one thing that we're going to do, actually, we've already sort of kind of spoke about. I think we're going to do a vlog of our trip to the Wrestle Carnival show.
Oh, please do that. That'd be great.
So, yeah, I think we're going to do a vlog of that. Steve's going to put something together, and then we'll maybe release it on Patreon initially, and then maybe once we've done that, pop it out 2 or 3 weeks later, or a month later on the YouTube channel or something.
Absolutely.
But we think that should be a little bit of fun. I mean, it could have us. You never know. We might have us meeting Eric Young on the vlog. Who knows?
Oh, get it. That'd be great.
It'd
be great if we could get Eric Young or Charles Crowley or even
Crowley. Been
Scott
on the show
Garland as well. That'd be great.
Get your photos. I've come to learn in recent years more like sometimes you go to a show and you don't want to be like, oh, I don't want to take a photo. I don't want to bother them. It's like, you know what, man, just do it. Like they don't care. Honestly, and it's like nobody cares. It's like you're gonna miss your chance to get those memories. So don't hesitate to get that stuff. Get your photos with your friends and your wrestlers, and do all that stuff and share it with us. But I would love to see it. But no, thank you guys for all you've done. Slam was great. Enjoy reviewing it. I think it's one that I'm gonna watch again. I'm actually looking forward to watching it a second time.
Yeah.
And then the Fallout's gonna be fun. Yeah, the Fallout's gonna be cool. So I'm sure Mark might even stream it in the Discord. So I'll get with him. He might even put it in Discord as a stream. So maybe some folks can join for a rewatch. Cool. All right, guys. I'll let you get on with the review.
That would be really cool. That'd be cool.
Awesome.
That'd be cool.
All right.
Take care, Trent.
You guys.
Thanks for joining us. We appreciate the love.
Thank you, guys.
Care, man.
Thanks for having me. See ya.
Ta-da. Bye. Is he gone? Yes, Ryle.
Yeah,
wow,
cool.
that was great. We got the Impact.
Trent Bob.
Sorry, the Total Nonstop Impact OG, giving us some love, which was great. Can I just say a quick hello to Aaron? I didn't realise, Aaron, but so you were actually at the tape. You were actually at the show. You were actually at Slammiversary, and you're coming back to London. So that's great. So that's really cool. So he didn't get to meet Bill. Unfortunately, he was sitting on the camera side by the looks of it. But told his friends that was Bill from TNI.
Yeah.
But there you go. Yeah, so we had a Trent bomb, Joe. You're right. But yeah, no, it's great. So glad you had a fantastic time, Aaron. And don't forget to put a few things in the chat and let us know, what your thoughts were as we go through our review in a second. I did want to mention one other thing. Moose and I believe Jordan Grace are at center stage today promoting Against All Odds, obviously, and the fact that Impact Wrestling are going to be there in Atlanta, in very, very soon. So why not get down there? Go if you live in the area, get down there, say hello to Moose, check out Jordan Grace, the new, obviously the new Knockouts champion. Well worth it. So get on down there, guys. Right now, let's get stuck into this review, guys, because
business mode.
There's a lot. There's a lot to talk about. Yeah. We're at 45 minutes, so let's get this done. Right, are we ready? Here we go. So first of all, we kicked off a Countdown Slammiversary. Now the show kicks off with a Digital Media Championship match. We get Rich Swann versus Brian Myers. Now Myers hits the back suplex on the apron to gain an early advantage. Myers wears down Swann with a chin lock. Can't beat a classic chin lock. Swann catches him in midair with a rolling clothesline. To begin building some of his momentum. Swann hits a series of kicks for 2. Myers comes back with a spear for a near fall. Myers then spikes him with a DDT, but it's not enough to keep Swan down. Swan connects with the 450 splash to retain the Digital Media Championship and reclaim physical possession of his title, which he'd already run, of course. So what are your thoughts on this match, guys? Now, I said earlier to Steve that I thought that... to me, this match was very... I just thought it was almost like a standard TV match for me, as opposed like a weekly show type match rather than anything particularly special. But Steve would disagree. So, Steve, take it away. What are your thoughts on this show? On this match,
I just thought it was like... For me, I just felt both men, like especially Myers, there was a lot from this match where I felt Myers gave that little bit more. And there's a lot from Swan. Swan always turns it up, and I felt coming out of this, I kind of felt like part of me wanted Myers to win because I wanted to see more from these two. I felt that the match was really good, that I wanted to see them have 2 or 3 more matches. And Myers hit some really good looking clotheslines, and I think there was a moment where he turned Swan inside out with like sort of a upside down spear or something. That was really cool. Yeah. But again, like you said, if it wasn't for the digital media title, I wouldn't have, it wouldn't have felt any different. It didn't feel like a championship match. I will say that.
Okay, that's fair enough. What about you, Joe? What did you think? Amir, I watched the countdown on Fight. Sorry, go on. What are you saying, Joe?
I agree with both of you. It felt like like you said, a match you'd see on TV and that, but it did its job. It was a great starter match. If Matt Cardona was able to be at ringside, that might have added a bit more to it as well. But he's having his shoulder injury and just going through an operation. He can't get out at the moment, so that's understandable. And Matt Cardona's feedback online, if you've caught up with that, is hilarious as well. From all the bumps that Chelsea Green and Myers took throughout the night, it's just hilarious. So you have him ranting at his laptop. But Myers and Rich Swann, they never faced off against each other before as well. So there's a lot of adapting during the match, and as it went on, the match got a lot better, and the finish was just amazing. Rich Swann's that 450 splash is awesome, and him trying to go for the Phoenix splash, missing it and landing on his feet is just amazing to see as well.
Yeah, totally.
Hats off to Brian Myers. If Cardona wasn't injured, then this match wouldn't have happened. So it's just great to see.
Okay, yeah, totally. I'm down with that. I agree. I like what both of you say about this one. It's just for me, it didn't feel that special. You
got to remember as well, these matches are meant to just give people an enticing to sort of think, actually, yeah, we'll buy it. It's not meant to be a pay-per-view quality match. It's meant to be a pre-show quality match, isn't it? I guess.
Maybe, but then if you don't put on a pay-per-view quality match, why would you want to buy the pay-per-view? I don't know. I think sometimes these countdown matches are actually just as important as the pay-per-view match because
they are. Yeah.
I think they should be giving it their all. To be fair, but there you go. And there's a lot of people saying they don't have any interest in the digital media title, and I get that.
Yeah, it's sad because it's a great concept, but Impact need to do better with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree with that totally. So can I just quickly answer Mir on that one? So yeah, sorry, I know I briefly said about it. So I watched, I don't know about you guys, but I watched the countdown to Slammiversary on Fight, and if you watch it on Fight, you literally watch the countdown, and it just basically then it goes straight into the pay-per-view. Whereas if you watch it on like Facebook or wherever else you watch it or whatever, then you have to switch from one to the other. So that's why I watch it on Fight, because I find it just flows straight into the pay-per-view, which is great.
Same here.
I quite like that. Yeah. Okay, so we then went into the most innovative match of all time, the reverse battle royale. This was quite cool because I think it was a good way of getting in as many sort of kind of like, former Impact talents, or TNA talents as possible, as well as some of the current roster as well, getting a show in at this event. So we had Johnny Swinger, we had Zicky Dice, we had Chris Bay. A lot of people disappointed Chris wasn't on the main show. We had David Young. We had Shearer, we had Raj Singh, we had Burpinder Gujar, we had Shark Boy. Obviously, we had Crazy Steve in there. We had
Steve
Shogun.
Macklin.
We had Shogun. We had Aiden Prince. We had Nate Webb. We had Mike Jackson. We had Steve Macklin, as Joe just mentioned there. We've got Chase Stevens. And then, of course, we had the introduction of Slash by the incredible Father James Mitchell as well, which is pretty cool, introducing Evil himself, Slash, which I thought was a pretty cool callback to the original TNA days. Really good, really good. So let me give you a little rundown on how this one sort of kind of went down. So we had the competitors surround the ring as they try to fight their way inside. And rather fun. Mike Jackson walking the guardrail with Shearer was interesting. We had Chris Bay, Rupinder Gujar, Shearer, Chase Stevens, Steve Macklin, Johnny Swinger, David Young, and Shark Boy all the first 8 to do so. They will now obviously compete in a traditional battle royale. Bay hits Macklin with the art of finesse, which is very cool actually. And I've got to say, a mention there to Chris Bay's ring gear, which looked bloody awesome. But then like I said, he then eliminates him. We then get them both for the match. We get the final 2 competitors being Shark Boy, Johnny Swinger, which I thought was fabulous. And obviously Johnny Swinger's experience of getting going over was definitely was definitely coming into play here. And then of course with the eliminator being determined by a pinfall or a submission, you got Shark Boy hits the Chummer, one of obviously the most devastating move in Shark Boy's arsenal, to win the match, declare himself the victor of the reverse battle royale. Shark Boy was the winner. I thought this match was a lot of fun. I like the fact that Scott D'Amore was saying, if you're going to celebrate a company, you've got to celebrate everything. And as much as I thought this match was a lot of fun to watch, it's just disappointing because if you're going to use it as something to sell your pay-per-view, I'm not sure this was the match to do it. But I thought the Mike Jackson walk in the guardrail thing was good. I thought that was funny. I thought there was just a lot of fun in there. And in reality, it was great to see people like Chase Stevens, David Young, obviously Slash, and Shark Boy getting to win something was pretty awesome as well. Anyway, that's my thoughts on this. What about you? I know you probably enjoyed this one, Joe, because you like the fun stuff. So what are your thoughts on this?
It was a great throwback to the Asylum era. Basically, the whole point of it was just a throwback to the Asylum era when they just had ridiculous concept ideas for matches and just put it together and see how it went. And Tom Hannafin built this match up brilliantly over the last week. Just talking about with this dreaded match it has to be there, and throughout the whole match itself, Matthew Raywald and Tom Hannafin trying to keep a straight face and trying to keep it together throughout the entire match, and you can hear them both laughing almost anything every second throughout the match. It was just it was just brilliant to just know that everyone's just there enjoying the moment rather than it being a serious match to really mean anything. And then the finish between Shark Boy and Johnny Swinger was just vintage Swinger. He does the opposite of what's meant to happen, thinking he wins the match, and Shark Boy hitting the Chummer. This made me laugh so much. And it was just a great match. I enjoyed it. It was just something random, and it was just great to see that come back. I mean, it's only going to be like a one-off. It's not going to be a regular occurrence. So it was just a great way to say this is TNA. This is Impact Wrestling. Let's get everything out. Just get the serious stuff on the way.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, what about you, Steve? What were your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I kind of had mixed thoughts on this one because going into it, it was one of those things where the idea was okay, but it needed some refinement, as we both said. But they didn't really make any. So, like, even there was one point where I think David Young was on the ring apron, no one around him, and then he jumped onto everyone. You're like, you can just get in the ring. But yeah, so like I say, there was some really weird moments in this match, but there was complete chaos, which made it really fun to watch. But it was really difficult to work out who was in there because coming out, they all came out together. And I think Penza got halfway through saying who was in the match, and then Slash come out. And by then you're like, well, we only know half the participants. And then it was a bit of a here, there, and everywhere match.
I think the entrance was a bit of a clusterfuck. To be honest.
It was a real clusterfuck. And I mean, again, everyone's sort of saying Shark Boy. I would have loved to have seen Swinger win this. This would have fit right into Swinger's bit. Even on Twitter saying, I'm going to drive backwards to the event to practice.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. I agree. There was some fun stuff that was on there. It was cool. It was cool. But like you said, I just don't know. I think if you were thinking, shall I book Slammiversary, and you saw this, I'm not too sure you would book it. But that you know, that's the thing. If you're not if you weren't necessarily a nostalgic guy, you sort of kind of realised this was just a bit of fun, taking the piss out of what, you know. It's almost kind of, you know, making fun of you know, what a silly idea it was, kind of thing. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it showcases the old like madness of what Impact can be.
Where they're just trying to come up with something different.
Yeah, but like you say, it is the buy-in. So you're like, is it going to deter people from saying, is this going to be what Slammiversary is throughout the entire pay-per-view?
Yeah, because this is shit. But like you said, I like what Hackey just said.
That moment
just
between
said,
Chris Bay and Steve Macklin was awesome. That the art of finesse of Steve Macklin, not them both, but that was impressive.
Yeah,
Chris Bay even bragged about that a bit more online too. Really, really putting that over. That was an incredible spot between them, because I thought Steve Macklin was going to win this.
It was almost like it was like, oh fuck this, I'm getting out of here. I know I'm going to end up being eliminated.
And that's another thing as well, isn't it? In the past, these reverse royales have led to a tournament. The winner hasn't necessarily won. Do they follow that pattern of now ranking these competitors and then having a tournament with the competitors?
That's true. I mean, that's true. But you know, I guess, you know, and Aaron's true. He's saying they didn't have as much time as they probably could have done, because obviously they had to have the package against all odds and all that kind of stuff. So there was, you know, you had to have the pre-show and all that sort of stuff with Josh Alexander that had to be added in as well. So sorry, what Gary was saying there as well. So that makes sense, because there was a lot of stuff on that half an hour buy-in. If you think about it, you had two matches, you had a reverse battle royale, you had the package to promote the main event. So there was quite a lot that was crammed in there as well. So I get that. You could, you know, you needed a little bit longer to really give that match, you know, some time. But at the same time, you don't want to waste time on a match like that, because it's never going to be that great. As we know, when they came up with the idea, it was garbage. But you know, people say you know, the reverse battle royale is so bad that it's actually good.
Tom Hanford's reaction when it was over was like, "Finally, it's over! Finally!" that was just brilliant as well.
Thank God for that. Yeah. So, but it's all good. It's all good. Now, guys, obviously that come to the end. We then get into Slammiversary itself. We get a really great intro package to celebrate 20 years of Impact, including many iconic moments and stars. We got, you know, after being introduced to the French commentary team, we then get stuck into the first match. And boy, was this a good one. So we started with the Ultimate X for the X Division Championship. We had Ace Austin versus Trey Miguel versus Kenny King, Alex Zane, and Andrew Everett, with the last-minute replacement for Jack Evans, who got injured at the GCW event the day before. We wish him all the best and hope that we get to see him maybe at a later date. It would be good to still have Jack turn up and do some work with Impact in the future. I'm not sure whether he's actually signed or whether he's just coming in for he just was coming in for that particular event, but hopefully we'll get to see him later as well. Hang on, sorry. Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, just ignore me, guys. I'm just reading our private chat there. Because I've been moaning that we've not had anything advertised for BTI or anything. So there you go.
Ooh.
Right. News is coming through. So let's give you a quick rundown on how this one sort of kind of ran down, and we'll talk about it. So Ace Austin's X Division title was up for grabs in this high-risk move. We get high wire spectacles known as the Ultimate X. We get Miguel soars over the top rope, colliding with King on the outside. Austin hits the Fosbury flop. I love that move, the Fosbury flop, over the top rope to the floor. Everett hits a snap German suplex to Miguel on the apron. Everett takes out everyone with a springboard corkscrew. That was insanely good. Bailey hits the modified Ultimo weapon with the cables. There's a huge Tower of Doom out of the corner, as Miguel is the only one left standing. Miguel spikes Zayn with a super Canadian destroyer from the top rope. That was unbelievable. Bailey and Austin scale the cable, exchange strikes a little bit. Everett joins them, but Bailey sends him crashing to the mat with a head scissors takedown. Bailey fights off Austin and unlocks the title to become the new X Division champion. So Mike Bailey becomes the winner. Hashtag and new X Division champion. Can I just say a special mention from me for this one to Andrew Everett for basically standing in at the last minute and having what I thought was a really great showing. So it was great to have him back, and he did a fantastic job. But huge congratulations to Mike Bailey becoming the new Impact X Division champion, which nobody expected. So you could say, well done, Impact, because nobody expected that. Is it a good move based on the momentum that Ace Austin's currently got? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I would imagine that we're now going to get a program between Ace Austin and Mike Bailey. Who knows? Maybe Ace Austin will win it back against all odds or something. But fantastic win for Mike Bailey. Really excited to see where this one goes. But for me, highlight of the match, Super Canadian Destroyer was insane.
Absolutely incredible.
Insane, mate. Insane. So,
yeah.
Steve, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, like you said, I felt the match was a little shorter than most X Division matches, Ultimate X matches we see, but I don't think it felt like it was cut short. I felt like they got in what they needed to get in, and it still flowed perfectly well. Andrew Everett coming back, I was really excited to see, and I felt like he looked like he fitted in perfectly. Hasn't lost a step, and I felt a bit bad for him because there was a moment up there where it looked like he was going to win, but I felt like if that was anyone else other than Andrew Everett, I thought, oh, hang on, they could win this. Just because it was him coming back for that one night, you felt like he's not going to do it, sadly. But yeah, that Canadian Destroyer from Trey was fantastic. And I wonder if we could be seeing a heel turn from Trey. You know, going from the Spider Trey to the Venom Trey.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Something's not right.
Yeah, that's interesting. But like you say, it seems like the Bullet Club is a hindrance. You know, we've seen Chris Bay go into the Bullet Club and kind of momentum has stopped. Ace has now joined, lost the title. As soon as the Good Brothers joined back with the Bullet Club, they lost the tag titles. It's really weird.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just. I think there was a lot of shocks on this event, and I think we'll be getting to them pretty soon. But what are your thoughts on the X Division, guys? I've noticed a few comments already in there. I think Steve might be onto something there with Venom Trey. Like I say, he was half Venom and half Spider. Is Venom Trey going to be the heel version of Spider Trey? We'll have to wait and see.
It would have been cool if he went to Carnage first.
It would, yeah, definitely. So we then get a Scott Hudson returns as he interviews Impact Originals ahead of their 10-man war against Honor No More tonight. The Motor City Machine Guns, Frankie Kazarian and Nick Aldis vow to defend the legacy of the Impact Wrestling tonight, which I thought was cool. Side note, best promo I've ever heard from Nick Aldis stroke Magnus. I remember texting Steve on the night saying, wow, that was actually quite good from Nick Aldis. I actually quite liked it. So interesting stuff there. And I can't believe I'm actually saying something nice about Nick Aldis. He was actually good in the match as well. But anyway, like I said, I can't believe it. But anyway, we then get the Icon Sting remembers his time in Impact Wrestling. Sting singles out time. Bless you. Singles out his time as Joker Sting and how he loved the character and how so many fans talk about that character when he sees them, all the time as well. But I think that it was a nice one actually. I really enjoyed it. I love the way they put the clips in there with the Joker and with Joker Sting and different bits and bobs in there as well. Which was
We got
really,
this
really
guy
cool.
again.
There you go. So I thought it was really cool. What were your thoughts on this segment where we got Nick Aldis and we got Sting, and what was your thoughts on this, guys?
It was a good, solid promo, and it just like you said, you wouldn't expect. Nick Aldis wasn't the best at giving promos, but this he absolutely nailed it. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, their emotion was shown through right from the start, and Frankie Kazarian. There was that massive build between all three of them there, ready to explode. And just reading Hakim's comment now, you never know, it could happen.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
And the fact that they managed to keep everything on the wraps as to who the fifth member was really good too. Everyone did have to wait till the last minute to find out who it was, and it left the speculation wide open for everybody if you were watching it live. And even for me, when I was watching it, I forgot that David Richards was in the match. So it was like, fucking, who could that guy be? But then that's like I said, spoilers to me if it's fuel to the fire. I'll watch it, forget what the results were, and then get more engaged in the actual thing itself. So,
what about you, Steve? What were your thoughts?
Yeah, like you say, everyone cut a great promo here, and it was interesting, the wording. Like, there was only one person that would fit, and I think as soon as they said that, everyone was like, well, it's going to be AJ, isn't it? But you look at the match, and it's like, well, the wording didn't lie. There was one person that would fit perfectly. Yeah. But I think, as they say, it's what our minds take it for.
It's what we want to see. It's what our fantasy booking is different, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, again, it was great to see Sting, and again, you really felt what he was saying came from his heart.
Yeah, I agree. I think we got that from all the packages as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. Okay, so we then get the Knockouts Tag Team Championship. We get the Influence versus Rosemary Taya Valkyrie. I mean, we can call it Ragnarok, but they're not calling it that. But
No.
Taya, so we got Rosemary and Taya. Now, this is basically how the match went down. Obviously, we get Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie reuniting, which is great. So Valkyrie hits the sliding German suplex on Dashwood. Rosemary goes for a spear on Dashwood, but Rain makes the save, drives her into the apron. Rain and Dashwood trap Rosemary as they cut off the ring, prevent her from making the tag. Rosemary finally creates separation and makes a tag, and Valkyrie, who hits the thunderous blue thunder bomb on Rain. Dashwood cuts off Rosemary mid spear with a running drop kick. Rosemary and Valkyrie hit double spears on the Influence for the pair of 2 counts. The Influence connect with the collab on Rosemary, but can't make the follow-up pin attempt. Rosemary is back from the dead. That I really like that bit. As plants Rain on the mat to win. The win for Rosemary and Taya for me is amazing. I'm absolutely over the moon with it. And for me, it's almost like it's a year in the making for it to happen. Yeah. I'm over the moon with it. I actually thought this was a really good match. It wasn't very long. It was a bit short. But I thought it was a great match. I thought Rosemary and Taya looked amazing. Taya wearing the black was cool. I want to see it.
Earmuffs. She got the
Yes.
earmuffs back.
Yeah.
Gorilla earmuffs.
I just want to see. I want to see Taya just a little bit more evil looking, or a little bit more sort of decay looking. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I just think it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Even if she just goes sort of kind of like white your face, real like bright red lipstick. Just proper goth it out. You know what I mean? I think a goth Taya would be really cool. But it was a good solid match. I'm looking forward to seeing this. I think we're going to get a reign here, certainly for a good couple of months. What are your thoughts on this one, Joe? I know because I'm going to you first. I know you're a massive Rosemary and Taya fan, so go for it.
The double team moves and everything was amazing. I like the fact that Rosemary and Havoc didn't gel together straight away at the start of the match. Rosemary was still at odds with Havoc, given the pass that had happened, and but as soon as they finally got working together, the match just went completely their way. Tennille Dashwood had some amazing spots in this match too, and Madison Rayne broke her nose in this match as well.
Yes, she did.
Yeah. So I was trying to figure out where that happened because I have no idea where it happened. But that was pretty shocking to see. This match was. It just shows this match was really intense. It wasn't. They didn't hold back, and Rosemary getting the pin was exactly what you wanted to see. It wouldn't have been the same if Taya Valkyrie got the win or if Rosemary had lost the match, because it just it adds more momentum to Decay. It also gives Rosemary a bit more of a momentum boost as a character, and now they're going to go look for Havoc as well. So we now know what's next for Decay in that route. What happens next with Madison Rayne and Tennille Dashwood is anyone's guess. I know you probably don't really care, Bison, with regards to Tennille Dashwood. So
No,
but you never know. You could still be won over. And no, I really enjoyed this match. It was just a great, nice, decent length match. It could have been a bit longer, but then it would have dragged on too long. They got what they needed in, and like the Ultimate X match, they got what they needed in, and that was enough, rather than it going along for the sake of it, like other companies do.
Yeah, they didn't push it. They did everything they needed to do, and that was it. I noticed that Larry mentioned that Tennille Dashwood was the best wrestler in that match. Not too sure on that one, but she did have a good show, and she's definitely improving as a performer in the ring. I'm not going to take nothing away from her. I just don't like her, to be honest. So she just doesn't do it for me. Whereas wrestlers like Taya and Rosemary and Diana Perazzo, Masha Slamovich now, they're all what I call good wrestlers. So it's a case of sort of they put on a good match. The Influence, I think, have had a pretty decent run. And now we need to sort of kind of like see where it goes from here. And I think we're going to get a real good run out of these guys. I mean, Taya's turning up all over the place at the moment.
She's belt collector. She's won the MLW openweight title, I think it is, the Knockouts tag team title, and the AAA the Reigns title. And she's going for another belt soon as well. So she's like the new belt collector out there.
Yeah, definitely. But she is a complete badass. I don't care what anybody says. Taya Valkyrie is amazing wrestler. Lot of time for her, and she's massive as well. So I'm like 5'11", guys. Right, I'm 5'11", so I'm not particularly massive. I'm not particularly tall, but I'm not short. But when I went in and stood next to Taya Valkyrie, she was at least 4 inches above me. She's a really, really tall girl. But really nice, though. I'll say that. Really nice as well. But I'm glad she's doing well. It's great to have her back in the Impact Zone. She'd been tweeting her, appreciation for the weekend that she had, so which was lovely to see. So lots of cool stuff there. What we then got was a very smiley Kurt Angle congratulating Impact Wrestling on 20 incredible years. Did anybody else notice that Kurt Angle seemed to be incredibly smiley on this?
Yeah, I thought it was Angle's always shown a lot of appreciation to Impact Wrestling TNA.
Well, yeah, except for when
even
he was in WWE, obviously.
He even did when he was at WWE. He showed his appreciation to it then. Much to it pissed Vince McMahon off, but Kurt Angle didn't care. He showed his appreciation to it, and he's to take it or leave it.
Yeah.
That hit like with Sting and like with AJ Styles, you could really tell the emotion that came through. It was genuine. It wasn't just like put together just to make this a good vignette. And Angle's got a hell of a lot of gratitude, and you can, looking back at his career, you can see why. He left WWE almost giving up on pro wrestling, and then like Sting, as soon as he comes into TNA, his passion's reignited. And like a lot of people who've come from another company into Impact Wrestling, you go there, your passion for wrestling is immediately reignited, and then you want to make yourself better and go elsewhere afterwards and just make a name for yourself. And Angle, well, he's a Hall of Famer. He's Triple Crown. He's done it all in Impact Wrestling, and he's just a living legend.
He's amazing. He is a living legend, and I love Kurt Angle. What about yourself, Steve? I see a lot of. I've said in the past, I see a lot of Josh Alexander. I see a lot of Kurt Angle in Josh Alexander, if that makes sense. Sorry, what were you saying, Steve?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, like you two both said, that you could see that the video, doing the video meant everything to Angle, and there, I think like a lot of the wrestlers we see, they felt at their most comfortable when they were in Impact, and I think Angle was talking from his heart and saying everything that he genuinely felt. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm reading this script because I have to.
Yeah.
I just felt he was so smiley on it. I was like, "Hey, Impact Wrestling, it's Kurt Angle here."
He was holding back the tears. He was holding back the tears. You can see him well enough.
Maybe that was his way of thinking, I don't want to cry. Maybe I'll just try and be like smiley kind of thing. I don't know. Everyone has a different way of dealing with things.
Yeah.
It was cool. It's a real shame he couldn't have made it. I mean, we all know that he can hardly walk at the moment after having his injury. So all the best with your recovery from your surgery, Kurt. Everyone here at TNI are huge fans. So get well soon, buddy. So we then move on to Monsters Ball. Now we'd all been waiting for this bad boy. We got Moose versus Sami Callihan. They've been locked in the room for 24 hours. Sami was enjoying it. Moose not so much. I love the segment where they showed Sami basically going through obviously match scenarios, and you can see him going thumbs-down, and all that sort of stuff.
Acting out the power driver in the dark.
Yes,
it was brilliant.
I thought that was fantastic.
Moose is going mad, and Sami Callihan's just having a laugh.
Oh my God, Sami was just so good in this match. So let's give us a quick rundown on this one, and then we'll talk about this a bit more. But I thought this is one of my favourite matches of the night. So here we go. So after being trapped, obviously isolated for 24 hours, Moose and Sally Cam are obviously unleashed in the match with no disqualifications, no countouts, no shortage of weapons. Monster Ball, here we go. So we got Callihan attacks Moose from behind during the entrance to the jump wrap. I like the way Moose is coming out and he's rubbing his eyes and he's shaking his head. And all this kind of, I thought that was brilliant. And the door just opens and Callahan's ready, which I thought was good. So obviously he gets a jump start in the match. Callihan pummels him with a series of steel chair shots to the head. Callihan then is busted open following a shot from a steel trash can lid. Again, genuine cut. I mean, that just opened straight up.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Moose then hits the Uranagi on the hardest part of the ring. Then another one through the table. Now, there's a clip of that Uranagi where on Twitter, Sami literally says, "That shook me to my bones." So that it looked like it as well. Like I said, he then did another one through the table. Callihan and Moose take turns hurling chairs at each other, at each other's skulls. Moose attempts a spear, but Callihan trips him in the trash can. Callahan pushes Moose off the top rope, sending him crashing into the table at ringside.
That was
Callahan,
scary.
yes, Callahan introduces thumbtacks into the match. Of course, we can't have a Monsters Ball without thumbtacks. But Moose makes him pay with a powerbomb into the tacks. Callahan hits the Death Valley driver through a door, through the door, wrapped in barbed wire. Callahan connects with the Cactus Driver 97 for a very close near fall. Callahan powerbombs Moose into a vertical trash can, followed by another Cactus Driver 97, but it's still not enough to keep Moose down. Can I just say a shout out to Moose, right? You know, how many people go into a match like this with shirtless, knowing what's going to happen, right?
Another credit to him for wearing white jeans.
And white jeans as well. Well, he wore those white jeans because that shows up the blood, doesn't it?
Yeah. I know.
You notice a lot of wrestlers will go in wearing light coloured gear when they do a match like this to really show the blood, show the crimson up. That's what I say. So where did I get to on this one? So it's not enough to keep Moose doing. Callahan assaults him with a barbed wire baseball bat, followed by a third Cactus Driver 97 into the thumbtacks to win. We all knew Sammy was going to win this, right?
Yeah.
I think we all knew Sammy was going to win. There was no way he was going to come in and lose. We needed a big entry from Sammy Callahan. He's been out of the ring now for almost a year, and we needed a big match, big entry, big win to make Sammy relevant again. And even though I wouldn't say Sammy was never irrelevant, I just mean at the end of the day, you needed something big. So I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm back. Right, and I think this was it. And I have to say, what a match! I mean, Sammy was covered in blood, thumbtacks, cuts all over the place. Moose thumbtacks all over his back, all in his elbows. He had thumbtacks all up his arms.
Yeah,
it was just incredible. Great match. Kudos to both of these guys putting their bodies on the line like they did. It was amazing. What were your thoughts on this one, Steve?
Like you said, it was what it was. It was an absolute monster's ball. First thing I will shout out to Impact is it was great to see them acknowledge and go back to the 24 hours being locked in the dark with no food or water. That was what the monster's ball was, because without that, it is just a hardcore match.
Yes, yeah.
And for a long while, they forgot that rule. But now it seems like they're bringing it back, which is good.
And actually, during the match, I like the bit where Moose grabbed someone's water or beer or something, and there's whatever it was that they were munching on.
And a hot dog.
A
hot dog, that's right. And then they even mention it on commentary. The fact that he's obviously needed substance because he's not eating
and there's a bit where he goes to like the second rope, I think, and you can see him not quite right. And the commentators are like, well, that's because he's been in like solitary confinement for like 24 hours with no food or water. Their bodies have to readjust, and it's like it adds a completely different dynamic to the match. You're not the same wrestler that you are, so it is a really good dynamic that they need to start featuring again, and it looks like they are. And like I say, the things like throwing Moose in the trash, catching him in the trash can while he's going for the spear was hilarious. Part of me wishes that Sammy could have tried to finish him off with another move, because I think we'd seen the pile drive about 8 times up to that point. But no complaints really for this match. It was a great way to get Callahan back on the show.
Definitely. What about you, Joe?
The like Steve said, the way they set this match up, with the 24-hour thing, it was the ultimate tribute to Abyss. This entire match was really about just a shout out to Abyss and everything he's done for Impact Wrestling over the years.
Yes.
And without repeating everything that everyone's just said, the action was amazing. The spots that they did, some of the high impact stuff with the weapons, especially like I said earlier, with Moose getting thrown off the turnbuckle, off the top rope into the table. And the way he smashed Sammy Callahan through the table, those are amazing. And the great spots with the trash can lid in the ring with the trash can lid just squaring off. Moose hulking himself up, literally and then saw Sammy Callihan just drop him on his head, and then that smashes the momentum completely. Sammy Callihan once again has made Slammiversary his own, and this match was a great tribute to Abyss and a great tribute to guys like Mick Foley and Sabu and Raven, who've all made Monsters Ball what it is. And it was just a great match.
Just going back to what Steve was saying about the finish, I think what would have been the ultimate finish for this one, whereas, like you say, 3 cactus drivers. I think maybe you should have done the 2 cactus drivers, and then to really kind of send the tribute out to Abyss, he should have then finished Moose off with a black hole slam into the tax.
Yeah, or found Janice somehow.
Maybe pulled Janice out. Yeah, that would have been funny. Yeah, I don't know, or a black hole slam into the tax.
Yeah, that would have been fantastic.
Yeah, but it was a great match, and like I say, one of my favourites of the night. I really enjoyed it. And I just want to say thank you to both those guys, because you went out there, you put your bodies on the line, and you just absolutely smashed it out of the park. Great job, guys. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. So we then move on to the Impact World Tag Team Championships. Now, this was a match that I think some of us weren't sure where this was going to go based on, certain comments that were made in previous weeks. People were like, oh, the Good Brothers go in. They don't give a shit. Comments made. They don't give a fuck. They're just taking the piss, blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. However, for me, this is the best Good Brothers match I've seen since they've arrived on Impact Wrestling. So let's give us a rundown on this. So we get the Briscoes, obviously current champions, versus the Good Brothers. Now, the action is fast and furious as a wild brawl breaks out around ringside. Gallows distracts the referee, allowing Anderson to drive Jay head first into the steel chair. Jay super kicks Gallows, then makes the tag to Mark. Moments later, the Good Brothers attempt Magic Killer on Mark, but Jay breaks it up. Mark and Anderson exchange strikes in the middle of the ring, with Anderson gaining the upper hand following the uppercut. There's something I want to say here, right? There's no one that does this better than Doc Gallows, right? When he pushes somebody into the corner, and then he basically does like a sequence of 4 or 5 strikes, which culminate with that badass uppercut. His arms are so long that he's right back out of the corner, and he's just hook, uppercut. Nobody does that better than Doc Gallows. Looks amazing when he does that. But anyway, so obviously I'm just talking about it because he mentions obviously it follows it up with an uppercut. The Briscoes connect with the double team powerbomb on Anderson. Anderson fights off the Doomsday device. Gallows then tosses Mark off the top rope into the gun stump from Anderson. The Good Brothers hit the Magic Killer on Jay to win the match to become the new Impact World Tag Team Champions, okay? Nobody saw that coming, right? Nobody saw that coming. For me, best tag match I've seen in Impact Ring since the North run. Both teams were incredible, and either team deserved to win this match. Definitely. This has to lead to a feud where the Good Brothers potentially, if they go, drop the titles to the Briscoes possibly, or somebody else, around mid-July time when they possibly drop the title. If they don't re-sign, obviously. Steve, what are your thoughts?
Like you said, I mean, I felt like we were in for a good match, because I think the match we got at Multiverse of Matches between these two was a fantastic match. So I really expected these two teams, and they've had a couple of matches previously. So I felt they were going to gel really well. And yeah, like you said, this was a 5-star match, easy. And it was a real surprise, it was. I don't see the Good Brothers dropping the titles. I think this does mean they are sticking around. I'm a little disappointed that we did see the Briscoes drop the titles, because they only had like a month reign. And if the Good Brothers are leaving, then that means another hot potato change. So I do hope we see the Good Brothers
Well, we must have the rubber. We must have the rubber, surely.
Yeah.
Well, this was the rubber match, wasn't it? Because they had one in Ring of Honor or New Japan, and then the second one was Multiverse of Matches, and this was the rubber match.
Was it? Or
I
yeah,
think
but
so.
I'm saying between these guys in an Impact ring.
Mm.
You know, I don't know. I've got
Yeah.
a feeling that what will happen is that we're now going to get a feud between them and the Briscoes moving forward. Like, obviously, we've got a feud anyway, but it will continue the feud because the
Yeah.
Briscoes aren't going to accept this, are they?
No.
They're not. But what is interesting is, given what we saw after, do you think there's a chance the Good Brothers could be turning face?
No, I just think that was a breaking character.
Maybe.
I think that was a breaking character based on the fact that it was a nostalgic thing. I haven't sort of kind of got to that bit yet, so we'll talk about that. In a
Oh
second.
yeah, I know,
Let's
but yeah.
let's just talk about the match. So you're saying it was a good match, aren't you? I mean, I think this is a great match.
Yeah.
But I have to say,
I don't have as much issue as a lot of people do with the Good Brothers. But I like you, I was stunned that they lost this. Even if they were going to stick around, I thought the Briscoes should have won it just because I wanted to see them have a good reign.
Yeah. What's this going on? Critical Sting. The North won the titles at BFG and held them for like 3 weeks before Ethan Page left.
Yeah, they
Was
did.
that- Yeah, but they also had the longest reign prior to that.
Yeah, I know that's the one you were talking about. But their second run was a bit of a letdown. I must have.
Yeah. No, that was the one I'm referring to, the first reign that they had, which was the longest reign, which I think had some fantastic stuff.
Amazing.
I hope the Briscoes stick around as well. I think I think they need that. I think the highest priority right now needs to be to sign them and all of Honor No More.
Yeah.
Bottom line, that has to be top priority to get these guys signed. Whether they do, we don't know. We know the situation with the way that they sort of handle signings at the moment. I just think that that's what it needs to be. But we just have to make wait and see. But I think, and I sort of kind of agree with Dead Punk there. I think we need to be working towards the Briscoes taking that title again from the Good Brothers. Like I say, towards maybe the end of July. And then we get to see the Briscoes versus OGK.
Yeah.
Moving forward. I think that would be amazing.
It then breaks them away from Honor No More as well.
But they could still be part of Honor No More, but I get what you're saying.
They're not circling around Lady Edwards' match. They're becoming their own.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I totally agree. Critical Sting. I totally agree. Just because they win doesn't mean that that's it. They've signed. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not.
And who knows? They may have just signed an extension to keep them here till Bound for Glory for now. It might have just been an extension or something.
Well, they might not have signed anything.
No.
But we know that there's agreements in place now between them and New Japan. We also know that they want to work in Japan again. So there's just because they don't necessarily sign an extension with or sign to Impact again doesn't mean that we won't see them again in the future. So that's the thing, and that's what I like about the way things work now. They can sign wherever they like, but what you have to remember is someone like the Good Brothers are going to have a very expensive signing fee. And, I would imagine New Japan have got much deeper pockets than Impact have right now. And, if they've got a deal in place, that we can still have the Good Brothers on the show, then let them pick up the bill.
We came here for a lot of money.
Exactly that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So we'll just have to wait and see how it pans out. Now, of course, as Steve alluded to just now, we then get the America's Most Wanted music hit. Out comes James Storm and Chris Harris, and they, to make their much anticipated return. Unfortunately, it's not in an in-ring fighting capacity, but they come out. James Storm cuts a promo talking about that Impact is the home of fantastic tag team wrestling. I think it was a really cool moment. Like I said, I would like to have seen them wrestle, but I understand why they didn't. And it was cool to see them crack open a beer or a bottle of water in
Everyone needs
Chris
a
Harris's
designated driver.
case. Yeah, and all three teams, salute 20 years of Impact Wrestling. I thought it was tag team wrestling. I thought it was a cool moment. It was a cool moment. What did you think, Joe?
But when James Storm came down, it was like, this is Slammiversary. It would not have been Slammiversary if James Storm wasn't there. But I was saying that all last week as we're heading towards it, that we need to see James Storm here one way or another, because it just wouldn't be the same without the Cowboys. So when James Storm came down the ramp, I was well enough of it. And to see Chris Harris as well, it was great to see America's Most Wanted back together. And the promo where James Storm shot down everybody that doubted TNA and Impact Wrestling was just brilliant. I watched that back several times, and each time I'm just thinking, fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, it was just perfect. And it was a great way to then, like the Good Brothers and Briscoes, they completely broke character and just engaged in the moment and enjoyed the moment. And it was just,
yes. I think that's exactly what that moment was. That's exactly what that moment was. It wasn't about a story. It wasn't about character. It was about celebrating what a fantastic match it was, and what a fantastic home tag team wrestling has in Impact Wrestling for the last 20 years. I think it was cool. It was a great moment. I loved it, and I understand Trent loved it.
Yeah, I loved it.
It was a great moment. It was a great moment. So we got James Storm. We wanted James Storm. We got a bit of James Storm. Not in the capacity we thought we were going to get it, but we did get it. It was fantastic. So that was a cool moment for me. Really cool moment. Yeah. We then get the show dedicated to Bob Ryder, and I have to say I thought Matt was going to cry. Just about his, just as Tom took over, it also looked like he was well enough. But I thought those guys were gonna like burst into tears at that moment. So that was quite a nice moment from those guys. And we then had the honor the voices of TNA. So we get obviously the honor in Don West, Mike Tenay package, which frankly I thought was awesome.
Amazing. Yeah.
I thought that was an amazing tribute to those guys. Over the moon with that. That was a fantastic moment. And I think if you're a true TNA original fan, you would have enjoyed that a lot, I think. What were your thoughts on this? Are you in along the same lines as me on this?
Yeah, TNA would not have been TNA if it wasn't for Mike Tenay and Don West and on commentary. They like the whole vignette said they made the commentary team really, really stand. They made the show. The great color commentator and the professor, and some of the clips they used were brilliant, and they were just as good as Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross were in WWF.
At their prime,
at their prime.
Yeah.
That's how good they were, and it was just a really, really great moment to have. That had me going, alongside the tribute to Bob Ryder as well. So it's that after America's Most Wanted come down, it was like the whole show started to gel together as one big bubble. And throughout the rest of the night, it was every time a tribute was coming, it was me going, ah.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. That's exactly how it ended up. And
it was lovely.
It was
just really, really nice.
So obviously, with all that going on, we then cut to Christy Hemme as a special guest ring announcer for the upcoming match. So there you get another callback. She obviously introduces the Impact Executive Vice President and former Team Canada member coach Scott D'Amore. Coach D'Amore comes out waving the flag, wearing the stuff in his true sort of kind of like cheerleading management, character. I thought it was brilliant. He then joins Tom Hannafan and Matthew Raybould on the commentary, and they had a little sort of kind of to and fro, which I thought was really good. It was funny. It was really cool. It's great to have Scott on the commentary team for this match. We then get former TNA Wrestling President Dixie Carter return. to introduce the final member of the Impact Originals, Eddie Edwards' former tag team partner Davey Richards, which I thought, obviously it was a bit of a shock. We talked about this earlier. I honestly thought because it was going to be EC3. I honestly thought we were going to get EC3 come up on the screen. His original EC3 kind of theme tune and everything else. The original EC3. I would imagine that didn't happen because EC3 doesn't want to go back to that version of himself, does he?
No.
He is now this whole control the narrative. But it's a shame because I think that would have been really, really cool. Could you imagine like EC3?
Place would have erupted even more.
It would have been amazing.
It would have just blown up if EC3 was even made an appearance during the match or at the end. It would have been amazing. But Davey Richards was a perfect choice.
Yeah, I think it was great. I think it works in terms of the match dynamic. They went with story.
Yes.
And the story worked. It worked big time. And Davey spent the whole time having a go at Eddie Edwards as well, which was really cool. You're right, Mir. D'Amore did take a little jab at Rockstar Spud. You're right, which was funny. But I could just imagine that EC3 trouble. Oh, mate, I would have been all over that shit. But there you go. He obviously that didn't happen. So we get the 10-man tag match with Honor Moore versus TNA Impact OGs. We get the Eddie Edwards, Vincent, PCO, Mike Bennett in Tavern versus Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, Kaz, Nick Aldis, and of course the addition of Davey Richards. Okay, so again, we know that we've got the Impact Original vowing to defend the legacy of Impact Wrestling, obviously against Honor No More. The bell rings, and the fight is on. Vincent hits Shelley with a Sato suplex, which was fucking good, followed by a flatliner for 2. Vincent continues to assault with a side brush and leg sweep to Sabin. Tavern hits just the tip of Shelley, but Kazarian breaks the pin. PCO crashes and burns. Man, that I felt that. As Shelley avoids the deanimator on the apron, Shelley fights out of the corner with a double sliced bread to Edwards and Vincent, allowing him to create some much needed separation at that point. Shelley makes the tag to Kazarian, who hits Vincent with a slingshot cutter. It's total non-stop action, as basically what I did there. Both teams exchange offense at the blistering pace. Sabin dives through the ropes, colliding with Bennett on the outside. Tavern is next to fly as he soars over the top into everyone on the floor. Back in the ring, Richards and Edwards square off. Richard looks in the double leg lock, and both Edwards and Tavern Vincent hits the red rum. I like that move on Aldous, but Sabin makes a save. I like the name of it as well. I think it's cool. Tracy Brooks jumps the guardrail and neutralizes Maria at ringside. That was badass. Really was. Kenny King gets involved with D'Lo Brown, hits the ring, takes him out with a sky high, which was badass. Sabin connects with the cradle shot on PCO as Earl Hebner makes the 3 count, awarding the victory to the Impact Originals. So the TNA Impact Originals are the winners. Now, this, for me, was just amazing. It was fast-paced. We had amazing storytelling going on. We had people from outside the ring getting involved. We had all these, like Tracy Brooks getting involved, Earl Hebner getting involved. It was just D'Lo Brown coming out, smashing it with the sky high. I mean, it was just absolutely superb. Absolutely superb. I love this match. For me, one of my favorites of the night. Really enjoyed it. Great storytelling from top to bottom. Absolutely loved it. Thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, like you said, the story, like you said, that's what they went with. The 5th member is storytelling, and I think all throughout the match they got that. I thought Vincent looked fantastic in the match. Shelley looked gave some good offense, and you could see at the end of the match as well the emotion on Saban's face, what this meant to them all. You know, the 20 years, everything, even Zeri and Shelley, you know, even on our Ritz, the emotion is all just hit them. Hang on, this is it. And yeah, that was, I think, the perfect match to have. And there were even little nuggets there, like, you know, like we were saying when we watched it, like Bennett wearing his miracle gear. And as he put on Twitter, that was a closing chapter for him. You know, he had to wear it to say, right, that's that door shut now.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot more to this match than meets the eye when you first watch it.
Yeah, exactly. And interesting enough, obviously, Bennett coming out in his miracle gear based on the fact that he's on Onimura's side. You know, but it was, you know, one of the first things I noticed. I think I remember messaging you, Steve, on the night that Bennett's in his miracle gear. You know, because I love that jacket. That the old gold jacket was cool. But you know, I think everyone in this match did everything they possibly could to really kind of give us the spirit of a true total non-stop action match. I think it was fantastic. Did you enjoy it, Joe?
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I was still rooting for my boys on No More. I will admit that. But win or lose, this match was one of the standout matches of the night, and probably my favourite of the whole night, alongside the Queen of the Mountain. But the whole build up to get Eddie Edwards and Dave Richards to finally square off against each other was brilliant too. And it's just, there's so much happened in this match. It's really, really hard to sum it all up. All I can say is you guys have pretty much said what I have to say, so I'm not going to repeat everything. It was just
fair enough.
And James Storm said it before the match even got underway, that this just shows how good tag team wrestling is on Impact Wrestling, and the OGs and on No More just backed it up even more after we saw what the Good Brothers and the Briscoes could do to each other. It was just a brilliant match.
It was a brilliant match, and I have to say, like I said, it was great. I enjoyed it. I was like totally into it. Really, really good stuff from everybody involved in this, top to bottom. Well produced, fantastic story, great wrestling. What more do you need? And for me, it just totally kind of gave us the full nostalgic, you know, TNA callback. It was great, absolutely fantastic. I loved it. We then get AJ Styles sending Impact a congratulations message for all the way from his home. And I have to say, I thought this was the perfect place to put it as well. After this nostalgic match, I thought it was perfect place. I love the fact that it comes on the screen and all you see is a chair. And you're like waiting to see who's going to fill that chair. And he sort of walks in from the side. You still don't quite know who it is. It would have been better if he was wearing one of his classic AJ Styles t-shirts from the TNA days. I thought that would have been cool if he was wearing one of those, but he didn't. He came in, sat down, did his message, and you know, you could tell he meant every word. I thought it was a lovely message, and credit to WWE for allowing that to happen. They didn't have to, you know, but they did. We knew we were never going to get any of the guys that are in WWE on the show in a match or any other way of doing it. But you know, AJ giving that message, I think was fantastic, and we really appreciate it. And so, as much as I'm not a big fan of the North of up north, I just want to say thank you to those guys for giving the fans and the rest of the roster that moment. I think it was cool. Green, are we agreeing on that?
Oh, definitely. You know, that had me going, and it just shows that AJ Styles has such a huge influence on the entire roster as well. You know, guys like Trey Miguel take a lot of inspiration from him. They don't like to be compared to him, but you know they've taken a lot of inspiration from him. Josh Alexander especially taken a lot of inspiration from guys like AJ Styles. So to have him come on and to be picked as the most influential X Division and male superstar in TNA, it was just a no-brainer to get AJ Styles on here one way or another. And it was just everything you said was just it's like burnt bridges were brushed under the carpet there and then.
Yeah, totally agree. I totally agree. Now we then move on to what is going to be classed as well. He's just said it himself. One of Joe's matches of the night. We move on to Queen of the Mountain, for the Knockouts World title. Tasha Steelz, Deanna Purrazzo, Mia Yim, Chelsea Green, and of course the incredible Jordan Grace. I think this was a really good match. So let's give you a bit of a rundown on how this one went down, and we'll have a chat. So Mickie James is obviously the special guest enforcer for the first ever Queen of the Mountain match, where after becoming eligible via a pinfall or submission, you win the match by climbing the ladder and hanging the Knockouts World title high above the ring. So whoever is pinned or submitted during the duration of the match must enter the penalty box for 2 minutes. I'm sure everybody understands, right?
Yeah.
Right. Green hits a top rope crossbody into everyone on the floor, then pins Steelz to become eligible. Steelz refuses to enter the penalty box at James, but James tosses both her and Evans inside as a 2-minute countdown begins. Steele is released from the box as she hits Yim with a springboard bulldog, which was pretty cool. Evans tries to get involved, but Evans tries to get involved, but James tosses her from the ring. Yim connects with the bridge German suplex on Green, then pins her to become eligible. Yim climbs the ladder with the Knockouts World title in hand, but Steelz takes her out with a cutter. Purrazzo locks in the Fujiwara armbar on Steelz, forcing her to submit in order to become eligible. Yim soars off the top of the penalty box, drop kicking Green into the steel ladder. Yim hits Grace with a package pile driver on the floor to score a pinfall and send her to the penalty box. Green attempts to hang the title, but James pulls her off the ladder as payback for attacking her earlier. Green and Purrazzo are perched at the ladder, but Yim tips it over, sending them both crashing through the two tables that were set up on the floor. Steelz and Grace score a double pinfall on Yim, making them both eligible. Grace then pins Steelz, following the Grace driver to send her to the penalty box. Grace hangs the Knockouts World title to win the match and become the new Knockouts World Champion. I thought this could have been, I had a funny feeling that Jordan Grace might win this because of the way that she's been booked in recent months. She's strong. She is a powerhouse, and the way she's conducting herself, the shape that she's got herself in, she deserves a run. So I think it was good to see this. I think we're going to see. I agree with Aaron there. I think we're going to see Chelsea and Deanna Purrazzo turning into a tag team from now on. I thought it was cool. There was a great the Shelton Benjamin ladder walk off the top into the people outside was cool. Really enjoyed that. We had Jordan Grace doing her Samoa Joe ending, which she then posted later on Twitter, like side by side. Was fantastic. Like I say, the spot with I think it was Chelsea and Deanna on top of the rope where they get pushed off was fantastic. This just goes to show why the Impact Knockouts roster is classed as one of the best female rosters in the world. There can be no disputing. Look at the caliber of the talents that are in the ring for this match. 5 former Impact TNA Knockout champions, multiple times, some of them, right? And just incredible talent. Like any of those could main event the show. Absolutely superb, fantastic match. I really enjoyed it. Joe enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure Steve enjoyed it as well. What were your thoughts on this one, Joe?
Oh God, a lot of people. Trying to think. It was a lot more exciting, a lot more it was just, oh god, I can't think of any, I can't know how to put it.
It was your favorite match. Come on.
Yeah, it was incredible. I did not expect Jordan Grace to, and I thought Mia Yim would win, but that was me thinking, right? But Jordan Grace was planting seeds as right like the night before, saying that she busted her ass for so long and nothing to show for it. That got me thinking Jordan Grace could possibly pick up the win, or it would lead to Jordan Grace versus Mia Yim after Mia Yim wins this match. The spot when Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green got knocked off the ladder, you can see Deonna Purrazzo grabbed Chelsea Green's hand right before the ladder was pushed. It was like, here we go, this is it for us. Bang! And that sent chills down my spine when I saw the replay on Twitter and watching it back on Tuesday. I just thought, oh my god, how the hell did they get up from that? That was just insane. And then, like you said, the ladder walk from Mia Yim, like Shelton Benjamin, he's been one of the guys who's trained her, was brilliant too. There's a lot of back and forth between her and Shelton Benjamin online as well. And so this was a great shout out to him. From her, there was a lot, and Tasha Steelz did a really good job in this too. She got pinned the most times, which is a bit pain in the ass if you're a Tasha Steelz fan.
You say that. Steve and I had a little discussion on the night when we were watching it, and I said, like, it made Tasha look weak because, basically, she got pinned and submitted, like right at the start of the match.
Yeah, that's that would be only. That's the only thing that really did frustrate me. It was to see Tasha Steelz once again being knocked down, but hopefully this is going to be like where she breaks away from Savannah Evans. So she's really saying, "It's not me, it's you, Savannah. You're holding me back." And we'll get her to break away from Savannah Evans and hopefully get some redemption and that way. And Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green are now in a good spot to go for the tag team titles because Deonna Purrazzo said months ago that her ambition is to now go for the Knockouts tag team titles when the opportunity comes, and to do it with Chelsea Green. And so now's the right time to do it because we can have them go against Ragnarok, say Bound for Glory, and take the titles from them then.
There you go. Yeah, perfect. Quick say hello to Paul Nelson, by the way. Thanks for joining us, bud. Go on, Steve. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, like you guys said, I was really intrigued to see this match again, since we haven't seen it for a while. And the Knockouts absolutely killed it. I was for me, the one who exceeded my expectations was Mia Yim. She basically knew no fear at all.
Yeah.
Everything that you could do, she found a way around it and kind of took it another level. So I would be very intrigued to see her in some kind of hardcore match or something, because you feel like she could really elevate that. Let's say big congratulations to Jordan, because you feel it's been a long time coming. I feel everything they set up everything very well. You know,
they did.
Yeah, like Mickey and Tasha, Deonna and Chelsea going into the tag division. You maybe assume Mia's going to be the first one to challenge Jordan. Don't know, because just she's the only one left that didn't really go anywhere. But we'll have to see.
Apart from just being badass.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, no, she was. Yeah, it was an incredible match, and
it was. Yeah,
I was.
I'd like it to return as a staple for Slammiversary.
Yeah, like it was a staple.
Either Queen of the Mountain or King of the Mountain.
Yeah. You wouldn't want two. Yeah.
No, not like WWE do with two fucking Hell in a Cell matches or two Royal Rumbles, one for men, one for women. That's just stupid.
one or the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same the Ultimate X. Bring that back at Hard to Kill or something.
I would love to see Josh Alexander in the King of the Mountain, though.
Oh,
yeah.
I honestly thought that the world title would be in a King of the Mountain match for Slammiversary, and because when Josh Alexander was X Division champion, he mentioned he was King of the Mountain. So even then, I thought at some point King of the Mountain's going to come back, and Josh Alexander will be defending his title then. So we might even see it come at Bound for Glory. King of the Mountain.
Maybe that would be cool. King of the Mountain headline Bound for Glory.
It would be a great way to bring it back then, and either have it as a staple in Bound for Glory or a staple in Slammiversary.
Yeah.
I think it was Slammiversary. It was the staple of originally. I know Matt. I forgot his bloody name now. The guy who's with Matthew Raywald. Tom Alifin mentioned it, that it was a staple there.
Yeah.
So
I think it was around 2009 they stopped it, because I think when Hogan and Bischoff come in, they said, "No, we don't want it no more."
Oh yeah, that's it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So, so it would be great to have it there, even if it's not the main event of Slammiversary. It would be great to see that return at Slammiversary as a regular thing.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
A couple of people in the chat are talking about, obviously, we need you need to work towards Jordan and Masha at BFG. I think you might find that's going to be Mia Yim versus Jordan Grace. But we'll have to see on that one. But yeah, very cool. It was a fire match. I really enjoyed it. And I hope we get to see more matches like this in the future.
Yeah.
I can't agree with that, Larry. I think it's a great format and one of the better ideas that they've come up with, along with it, obviously the Ultimate X as well. I think it's a cool idea. Okay, so we then go backstage and we get Gia Miller introduces Goldilocks, which we've already spoke about, was amazing. Impact Wrestling's first backstage interviewer, Goldilocks interviews Impact Hall of Famer Gail Kim, who was voted the most impactful knockout in Impact Wrestling history. You cannot deny that. You just can't. Because it's not even based on what she's done in the ring. It's got to be based on what she's done for the entire division since she's been there, full stop.
She was the one who pushed for the division back in 2004, ever since she came in.
Exactly. This is what she wanted, and now she's the queen of it all the way through. But I have to say this, in the interview, I loved how Gail quickly moves away from herself, but onto how amazing her current crop of knockouts are.
Yes.
That says a lot. That says a lot for Gail Kim. About the person that she is. It's not all about her. And she's not Tenille Dashwood. She's Gail Kim, and at this moment in her career,
it's a nasty jab.
It's all about it's all about her division.
That's a dish we don't, not a dish we do.
Yeah, exactly.
And she understands team sport.
Yes, exactly. She does. And I just love the way she put over the division massively. I thought it was great. But again, fantastic to see Goldilocks, another callback to the original TNA days. Fantastic. And of course, we had it just sporadically all the way through the show, which was great. We then got a BFG promo for October, which at this point seems so bloody far away. Because obviously we've had Slammiversary almost a month early. But it just means that we've got a little bit more time to build, right?
Yeah. So although I heard a rumor that the date they put out was incorrect.
They didn't put a date. They just said October, didn't they?
No, they did put a date on there.
Did they?
I think.
I just thought it was. I don't know. Somebody's put Botch of the Night announcing Bound for Glory October 8th. Okay, it's not October 8th. When is it then? If it's not October 8th, when is it?
It is no idea when it is. I think it's the 20th. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I got no idea. But take care, Aaron. Thanks for joining us, and I'm so glad that you had a fantastic night. Being there live at Slammiversary is fantastic. Well done. Congrats to you having a good time. Take it easy, buddy. Tom said October 8th, but the promo didn't give a date, just October. That's what I thought. But anyway, doesn't matter. So we head into the main event. We got the Impact World title match. Josh Alexander versus VBD's leader, Eric Young. I've been really looking forward to this. I thought this was built really well. And I couldn't wait for this to get going. Both, two of my favorite wrestlers. I did send Eric and Josh a personal message earlier today. Got a lovely response from Eric, as always. So I thought it was a great match. I really, really loved it. Really loved it. So we get both competitors avoid each other's moonsaults as we reach to the stalemate in the early goings. Diener sets up a table ringside. Meanwhile, Young drives his elbow into the chest of Alexander from the top rope. Alexander hits the powerbomb, then floats over into the submission. Alexander brings the fight to the other members of Violent by Design, then connects with the top rope crossbody for 2. Young counters the C4 spike into the stroke, sorry. Obviously, a la Jeff Jarrett. The trip down memory lane then continues as he hits the black hole slam for 2. Alexander connects with the best moonsault ever for another near fall. Alexander almost puts Young away with a styles clash, but when Young kicks out, Alexander floats over into the ankle lock. Young is tapping out, but the referee is blinded after Dina throws powder in his eyes. Another callback. Alexander sends Doring through the table with the Olympic slam. Another
Amazing.
callback.
Absolutely fucking brilliant moment.
Yeah. Young's then shatters the guitar over Alexander's head. Another callback to Jeff Jarrett. Young spikes him with a pile driver on the exposed wood, which I also think is a callback to Bully Ray, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But somehow Alexander kicks out for 2. Alexander then connects with the C4 spike to score a pinfall and retain the Impact World title. This match, for me, without doubt, and as much as I loved all the other matches, and I could put loads of them on my match of the night list, for me, nostalgia, the way that the match was told, the storytelling, the tributes all the way through, this was my favorite match because of those elements. And as a one-on-one, it just absolutely blew the roof off the place as well. You could tell that everyone in that building was completely into this match.
Yeah, everyone was on their feet the entire match. Nobody was sat down.
Yeah, they absolutely loved it. Yes, Josh Alexander also used the hockey stick as well, which was really cool. Amazing match. I really loved it. And I'm so over the moon that this was blatantly a what's the word I'm looking for?
Passing of the torch.
Passing of the torch.
Yeah.
Really great match. I really enjoyed it. What did you think on this one, Joe?
I loved it. I will admit this was the best match of the night. Without a doubt. My favorite being this is in there with the like I said earlier, the last 3 matches gelled into one because they all just flowed so perfectly well together.
Yeah.
The amount of tributes to other wrestlers and that came through TNA and Impact Wrestling during this match was just incredible, and both of them made it clear who their idols were. Eric Young, especially with Jeff Jarrett, who was a huge influence on EY. That was so great to see the stroke, and then the guitar getting smashed over the head was just great to see. And Josh Alexander giving shouts out to Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels. It just shows off how versatile he is as an in-ring competitor. And even Tom Hannafin was saying that you can see a lot of Kurt Angle in Josh Alexander, and the aftermath of this match as well. That was incredible. And if you guys have seen it on Twitter, that this was the best match Josh Alexander has been in, and he's been in a lot of the best matches that Josh Alexander has been in over the past 12 months.
Josh Alexander has been in the best matches ever for the last several months.
Yeah, for the last 2 years almost since the North really.
Josh never has a bad match. Josh Alexander, since he comes to Impact Wrestling, has never had a bad match. Not one.
Going back all the way back to Josh Alexander versus Vikingo, that's when you really got to see this guy is fucking brilliant, and that's over 2 years ago now, back in Mexico, and you come over here, come back up to 2022. He's world champion. He's triple crown guy. He's face of the company. He's the standard of the company. He deserved every single accolade he's got and everything he's earned. He's earned everything he's got, and there couldn't be a much better guy for Eric Young to have taken on and lost to and pass the torch over. And they've got a huge main event already set up for No Surrender or Against All Odds. I keep forgetting which one it is, and
Against All Odds,
and that's just amazing. This match was just the best way to say this is TNA, and now that was TNA. This is Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, definitely. So, what do you think, Steve? Are you in agreement with Joe and myself on this one?
Oh, definitely, yeah. For me, it also said, it kind of said that, okay, well, we can't get wrestler A, can't get wrestler B, can't get wrestler C, so let's honor them by like showcasing some of their moves in the main event. You know, giving the fans a callback to these wrestlers through our wrestlers in the main event.
Yeah.
So that was a nice way to do it as well. And like Dead Punk has said, you know, it was just a massive mark out match. Really, it was like
all the way through.
Can you top this with previous wrestlers like moves? And it was just
cool.
you were waiting to see what would come next. It was a really good match. It really was.
It was a fantastic match. Yeah, definitely. And can I just say, don't listen to Bully Ray. He talks shit.
He does.
It's a shame because I used to love Bully Ray, but these days he's just a real I don't know, sour face.
So Booker T. He seems to have a hair up his ass about everything everyone does.
His mouth's half a second before his brain.
I don't understand it. But there you go. You're right there. Actually, the only thing missing was Josh hitting the spiral tap. That would have been like amaze balls. But so it was amazing, an amazing main event. I absolutely loved it, and I'm just so happy with this show. I thought it basically gave us everything that we expected. It was just amazing matches, top to bottom, some fantastic nostalgia. It was just great. So we then get, obviously, the show going off air as Josh Alexander celebrates in the ring. We then get, the following day, a video package of basically what happened after, where we get, I think it was VBD then attacking Josh in the ring. We then get all the OGs and a few extras coming down to basically rescue their champion. And then that later on sets up Coach D'Amore, then later on sets up the match for Against All Odds. Nice and early on. We know what we're going to get. Fantastic main event. Joe Doran versus Josh Alexander. Going to be an absolute cracker. Really is. But there you go, guys. That's our roundup of Slammiversary. Great pay-per-view, and I cannot wait now for the fallout, to be honest. I think it's going to be amazing. But that is it. That is our roundup. That is our review of Impact Wrestling nostalgic show, Impact 20 Slammiversary. Really good. Loved it. Guys, let's talk about what we got coming up. We've got what we got coming up tomorrow. Obviously, we've got the fallout from the Fallout show from Slammiversary. It's going to be very interesting to see where we go with that one. I know that we've got the digital media exclusive match, which has been released yesterday. If you haven't seen it, it's worth going and checking it out. It's Rocky Mountain Pro. I think it's Reagan Grimes versus Madison Rain. Madison's the winner, but you've got D'Lo Brown on commentary. It's quite well produced, actually. It's a shame, really, because the venue's only got about 10 people in it. But other than that, it was, it wasn't too bad. It's quite a solid match. I've never seen Reagan Grimes before. She was all right, not too bad. But it's definitely worth going and checking that. Have you boys seen it yet?
Not yet, no.
No. Okay. We've then got advertised for BTI. I think J-Bone popped it up earlier. Now, am I right in thinking it's Andrew Everett versus Black Taurus? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, great. We get more Andrew Everett.
Yeah.
Now, is Andrew sticking around, or is this a Black Taurus win?
I can see him sticking around, but I think it will be a Black Taurus win.
Yeah. Get DK a win under a belt, yeah?
Yeah, I can see the same thing, but it would be like seeing Black Taurus versus Vikingo. No, those two can go on the radio cage.
Yes.
Andrew Everett he went to Mexico for a while with DJZ to learn a lot of Lucha Libre and really, really hone his skills as a high flyer. And he can go toe to toe with Black Taurus, no doubt. So I can't wait to see this match.
Mate, Andrew Everett is 7'2".
Yeah, I know.
He's going to tower. He is going to tower over Black Taurus in this match. Going to tower over him.
He's gone from the Skywalker to the Giant, and it's amazing to see how big he's got.
Yeah, I think it's been a good match. So make sure you check that one out. And then for the fallout of Impact Wrestling, we've got advertised. Is it Mia versus Chelsea?
Yeah.
That should be pretty good. And what was the I can't remember what you said now. Let me have a quick gander.
Josh versus Dina.
Dina versus what? Josh Alexander.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Josh Alexander versus Dina. Is that a world title match or just a match?
I can't see it being a world title match.
I think it's just get this bastard out of my way match.
Yeah.
I think it's let's beat up another member of BBD match, and then obviously he gets to beat up Joe Doran as well. So there's two great matches have been advertised. Is any others been advertised? Do we know? Or is that it so far?
No. Not that I know of.
No,
I think
nothing
that's it.
yet.
So, well, we know that we've got those two then, don't we? Which is good. You know, quite happy
Could
happy
be a
with
promo
that.
heavy night.
Well, it could be because I mean it's the fallout, isn't it? And I'm sure we're going to get about 2 or 3 impromptu matches that get set up on the night, kind of matches. You know, based on what went down. I'm sure we'll probably get a couple of TNA originals involved in something as well, just so they get a decent payday. Like I say, we're getting an Andrew on BTI, the Giant Andrew Everett on BTI. Then maybe we might get James Storm.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get America's Most Wanted. You never know.
Yeah, I think we could see a fallout between the Good Brothers and the Briscoes.
Yeah.
But
maybe we could bring back the drinking belt for Storm and the Briscoes.
There you go. Yeah, that would be interesting. But I'll tell you what. I mean, the bottom line is, no matter what happens now, we're obviously going to get the fallout certainly from the Knockouts new champion. We're going to get fallout with that because people are now going to be wanting that belt. Who's that going to be? Who's going to be chasing Jordan now? Is it going to be Tasha coming for it? You've got to admit that Tasha's going to she's going to want to get her first. She's going to want to get a rematch, and she's obviously got first dibs on that. And I would imagine that Jordan will kick the shit out of her, which would be a shame because, like I say, we're all big fans of Tasha here.
Yeah, you assume against all odds will be a lot of rematches, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure there'll be a couple of rematches, or not necessarily rematches because everything was sort of kind of multi-man, wasn't it? You're not going to get a Queen of the Mountain again, are we?
No, but
but you just get one-on-one against Tasha.
The winner.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure Tasha's going to get her chance to try and get that back.
Yeah,
definitely. And I'm the Mia versus Chelsea should be good. And to be fair, Josh Alexander versus Dina, that's going to be a good match.
Oh yeah,
that will be lit.
A lot of people sleep on Dina, but he's a fantastic in-ring performer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great match. That'll be a really, really good match. So I think we're in for a good show tomorrow night. Like I said, we've not got a massive amount to talk about, but either way, it's going to be a great show. So make sure that you tune in, whether it be on Access TV, whether it be by YouTube Insiders or the app or Pluto or wherever, Fight Network or wherever it is that you watch Impact Wrestling. Make sure you check this show out. It's going to be a good one. But guys, please don't forget to head over to the TNI Patreon for exclusive extra content when you sign up, and also make sure you watch tomorrow night's TNI flagship Impact live review directly after the show is aired on Twitch and of course YouTube. Also, all you listen on the go fans, make sure that you check us out on audio only via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. We are there. Just go check us out. Total Nonstop Impact. We will be there. Where can we find you on the socials, my friend Joe?
Oh, God, it's been a week since I've had to do this, so my mind should be very nice and empty. You can find me on Twitter at JerkEmptySpace. You can jump onto Facebook, look for hashtag EmptySpace, hashtag The Void, or if you fancy to take if you fancy a laugh and tickle your taste buds and test your sense of humor, then look for hashtag Daily Giggle. Yeah, if you're on Twitter, you'll also see them popping up a lot more now. Anyone who tags me in a post, you'll get a Daily Giggle from me. So keep them coming, guys. I want to spread the love and spread the joy. But just remember, take them in with an open mind, and you just might keep your sanity.
We got there in the end, Joe. I think you might need to practice it in the mirror a little bit when you take a week off.
Oh no, dude, last week was a bad week, so.
What about you, Steve? Where can we find you, buddy?
You can find me over on Twitter at simplysteve311 for everything Impact Wrestling related. You can also hop over to wrestlebuddy.com to look over any articles. Haven't written any for a while, but all the old ones are still up there. So if you fancy giving any a read, then feel free to look over them.
There we go. And I could tell you will not regret it. They're good articles. You won't regret it. So, Steve, let's get some new ones out, my friend. I know you're a busy bee these days, but, I'm sure you could smash one out.
Yeah.
If you're interested in finding out a little bit more or following the Bison, you can check me out at LordBison45 on Twitter. I've literally just broke 1,700 followers on Twitter this week. Well done. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate that. But keep them coming.
Bison
keep those followers coming. Bison licks for all. That's it. But keep them coming. Join the Beefalo Club. That's what I say. Beefalo Club, baby. So it's going to be it's great for you guys to do that. Don't forget, guys, we are still trying to hit 2,000 subs on the YouTube channel. We are getting closer. I think we slapped up about another 100 subs since we started the campaign, which is great. Thank you for that. But it would also be great if we could just hit that 2,000. We can hit 2,000. Man, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. 2,000 subs would be amazing. So keep sharing. Keep letting the world know about TNI, whether it be Impacted, whether it be the TNI review over in the US, either teams. Let them know about the show, especially if you're big fans of ours. We will appreciate it. Now, that said, please take the time to help us out by moving up the rankings on YouTube, by giving us a thumbs up. Very important. And if you're new to us and you like what you see, then click that subscribe button. Don't forget to give the bell a tickle, a squeeze, or a smash to never miss any of the TNI UK and US teams' great content each and every week. Anna, she wants a Beefalo Club shirt. Well, we'll have to see what we can come up with. Uncle J-Bone might be able to sort something like that out for the Spreadshirt shop. See if you can come up with a Beefalo Club shirt, J-Bone. That would be cool. I know Anna, by the looks of it, would buy that bad boy. And just check in, Violet. Are you going to go to Chicago? Because it looks like I'm going to be going there, so let me know. But anyway, don't forget, as we were talking about T-shirts, don't forget to, if you want to support TNI, head over to the Spreadshirt store. Information is all down in the bios down there. And also, we got ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact for all of our shirts. We got some new ones on there actually at the moment, so go and check those out if you want to support us in that way. Anyway, with all that said, I've been Bison, and they have been Joker, and of course the incredible Simply Steve, and this has been episode 88 of Impacted. Take care, everyone.
We're Bison! We are Impacted!